We are here. We are live. It's the Super Bowl right now, the biggest Super Bowl event for 2020. Welcome to episode 22 of the Fallen for Film podcast. I'm your host, Ryan O'Toole, and this is a very exciting episode. Not only is this our biggest episode to date, but it's a special one because it's my birthday. It's my birthday. Hey, big 25. 25.
Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday.
Thank you, man. You're so nice. You're so sweet.
I'm such a nice guy.
Colin, anyway, my co-host, how you doing today, man?
Dude, I'm doing great, man. I had to get a good night's rest this morning. Last night I was just kind of how it's the day before Christmas, you go to bed extra early because you want to wake up really quickly the next day. That was me today. So we have 9 guests on, 2 who are backstage right now and we're about to introduce, but I'm so excited to get started as we talk DC fandom, answer some questions, celebrate your birthday, have on previous Falling for Film alumni guests. Dude, I'm so pumped for this episode, man. This is the crossover event of the year.
Dude. Absolutely, man. Before we get started, we got to shout out the people that are here in the chat. Dorito Chip Gamer, he was even here before we started. Mr. Crazy, everybody saying happy birthday. What's going on? Thank you guys so much. Nate, Pixar Fan 2007, Nick Lloyd, Jaron Talks Movies is also in here. What's going on? Thank you guys for the happy birthday wishes. It means a lot. And before we get into the actual event, if you guys are new here and you love this podcast and want to see more, there's podcast platform links in the description. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and all that stuff. It helps with the channel if you want more movie news and other stuff like that. All right, let's introduce the guests, Colin. Let's do it.
Let's do it, man.
We got group 1 out of 4. We got 9 people in here. So our first guest right here, I was on his channel most recently, did a live watch-along to Guardians of the Galaxy, had him on a Q&A last week, I believe. I love this guy a lot. He's a great YouTuber. We got Elliot from Movie Files. Elliot, how you doing, man? Welcome.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Happy birthday to you, Ryan. First and foremost, you are celebrating. You're one of 17.7 million people that are celebrating a birthday today. So that is something to behold for sure. But no, guys, I'm so happy to be on this crossover event of the decade. YouTube's Assemble is going to be dope. I'm excited to be here today, guys, and chat with you all and celebrate your birthday, man. Very excited to be here today.
Absolutely, Elliot. Welcome. It's going to be an awesome blast talking DC fandom and answering questions. And our next guest right here, you may know him as well. He does movie reviews. He does a podcast with Sean Chandler, collab with them many times. It's Griffin Schiller from Film Speak. Griffin, how you doing, man?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on again. Happy birthday, Ryan. This is amazing. It's going to be a lot of fun talking movie news and hanging out and just celebrating in the world of Ryan. But this is all about Ryan today, so it's the Ryan O'Toole show. It's not Falling for Film. It's just the Ryan O'Toole show. It's in fact, I cared so much about this that I broke out my tank today because I stopped wearing these on my live streams, man, and I got complaints for it. And I was like, they all wanted them back, but I was like, you know what? No. But you caused me to put it back on, so listen. You should feel very special about that. So
there you go.
All right. This is exciting. We're going to get right into this, guys. We're going to talk DC fandom. Drop your questions right now in the chat right now. There's going to be so many questions. We're going to get that right off the bat. We're not going to get to every single one, but if you want your question answered as soon as possible, there is that super chat feature. You don't have to do it. It's just there. If you want to help support the channel and get your question answered, that super chat feature is there. So
give him a birthday gift, guys. Come on.
It's a birthday present.
Yeah, throw it in there. And if you guys want to see more of Griffin's guns too, throw some tips in there.
We got the gun show going.
Yeah. Guns, yeah. All right, boys, let's get right into DC fandom. So the panels were announced this week. We got lots of movies, lots of panels. So let's talk about the Wonder Woman 84 panel. That's going to kick off the whole entire event. You're going to get so many people, Gal Gadot, Patty Jenkins, and other people thrown up in there. I'm very excited for this. Colin, I figured I'd get your take on this first. What are you hoping to see from this panel, and how excited are you for this movie?
Yeah, man, I've became such a defender, or not defender, because everyone loves the movie, but such a fan of that first Wonder Woman movie. Because when theaters opened up, I went and saw it, and I just like instantly just skyrocketed to one of my favorite comic book movies of all time. Not that I didn't enjoy it before, but this time just kind of really like gave me an epiphany that I'm so looking forward to Wonder Woman 84, especially because maybe the main thing is Patty Jenkins coming back. I mean, like legit, like what she did for Wonder Woman was absolutely phenomenal. She just gets directing action and just made kind of an inherently silly character like excellent in that movie, and just really just did an amazing job with that film. So I'm so looking at to 1984, not with just like Steve Trevor's coming back, has that kind of Thor Ragnarok kind of flair to it, a little bit funky with the kind of 1980s aesthetic. Dude, I'm so looking forward to this movie. I'm so pumped.
Absolutely. Griffin, what's your take on this?
Yeah, I mean, ever since that first trailer, I've really been all in on this movie. I mean, like, again, I think the first Wonder Woman is one of the best comic book films we've ever gotten. I still just remember, just being, knocked on my ass by the end of that film. And so I'm really excited to see. Yeah, I'm really stoked to see her follow up to that, and I feel like she'll be given even more creative freedom with this. It feels like they're really playing into the 1980s in this film in a way that doesn't feel superficial. Like what so I like Stranger Things, but I think it's very it's very nostalgic in its interpretation of the 1980s. Whereas like this looks like it's actually trying to be like a timepiece, which I like. I also love Pedro Pascal in there as like this. Basically like Donald Trump-esque, what do you call him? I forget.
Mogul.
Like mogul. Yeah, it's like it just feels like I know there's going to be some great commentary on there, and then also like Steve Trevor. My theory is that he's not actually there. He's just like Diana is just sort of like seeing him and stuff, and so I feel like that could be an interesting dynamic on her, sort of like dealing with loss still after all of these years. And then I don't know if you guys have seen, but the stuff with Kristen Wiig as Cheetah, like the promotional images that sort of like leaked a little bit out. I am very, very excited to see what she can do, because she's an incredible comedic actress, but she's also someone who can bring the dramatic chops when she needs to. So I think this is going to be it's going to be a film that's like packed full of fun. It's going to be emotional. It's going to have some epic moments, and I'm just stoked to see another trailer. I'm really, really
the trailer music too. I want to shout out the soundtrack, dude, or the score. Oh my god, I listen to that like all the time.
Everyone loves that cover for Blue Monday is just like it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, so good.
I'm loving it. I love everything you said there, Griffin. Elliot, what's your kind of take on this? Were you a big fan of the first Wonder Woman? What do you think the sequel's going to bring? We're seeing lots of Stranger Things vibes going up in there. Pedro Pascal looking weird. What do you think about this, man?
Yeah, man. Hey, Wonder Woman is my favorite DCEU film to date. I think Patty Jenkins captured the essence of Wonder Woman from the comics, as far as a beacon of hope, which we were hoping to see from Superman, which I'm still campaigning Patty Jenkins for Man of Steel 2. But I think we're in for a treat, guys. This film is going to blow everything out of the water. I think this film is going to just ratchet up the action, the dramatic elements. I think there is a secret third villain in this film that may lead into Wonder Woman 3, maybe be Cersei the God. But I'm so excited for this film. I hate to see Wonder Woman get her ass beat, but Cheetah will beat her up when they first meet each other. I think that's where that armor comes from, the eagle armor that we're going to see from Wonder Woman. But I'm just so excited to see Kristen Wiig in the role, because Patty Jenkins, man, she is such a character-driven director. When I think of Monster with Charlize Theron, what she did with her, and then obviously Gal Gadot, which everyone was so on her about. She's not a good actress. She doesn't put on the weight, and then she blew it out of the water. She made everyone eat crow. She is Wonder Woman. So I'm excited to see with Cheetah, because, guys, if you are not familiar with Cheetah, she is a formidable foe for Wonder Woman. She is a primal animal, and she is awesome. So I'm excited to see her. Like I said, Pedro Pascal. This is smart on Warner Brothers to have them kicking right out of the gate with your most critically successful film. Box office wise, it did well. It's just so well received. So this is just kicking the DC fandom off the right way. So I am more than excited for this film, and seeing a trailer would be awesome.
Absolutely. I'm loving everything I'm seeing from this movie. Love
Yeah.
the Stranger Things vibes, love
Yep,
the
yep, yep.
80s vibe, like you guys have been saying. And Patty Jenkins is a director that I'm looking forward to seeing what she does, aside from Wonder Woman in the future.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot, she's just gorgeous. Kristen Wiig as Cheetah, that's a great cast in there. I know people, Kristen Wiig, she was in Ghostbusters, but this is a villain that we're going to be very much looking forward to seeing. Cheetah on the big screen. I'm hoping we get the Bane and Batman. Bane beats the crap out of Batman type of vibes with Wonder Woman and Cheetah. Like you guys were talking about, Cheetah could whoop Wonder Woman's ass. Like I want to see that. A hero feeling vulnerable into beating the villain. And Pedro Pascal, love everything he's done so far. Game of Thrones, The Mandalorian, like in all the movies he's been doing, he's just a great actor. I love his charisma, I love his attitude. And with Steve Trevor, Chris Pine, there's a lot of speculation what they could do with him in there. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do. It looks like it's going to be just more epic than the first.
It's also it looks like they're kind of pulling a Mysterio with the marketing with Cheetah. Like she doesn't appear to be like an enemy in the marketing, and like at least in that first trailer whatsoever. Well, I wonder if they continue on with that. I don't know if she turn into the villain midway through the movie, kind of like has a change of heart, or is that like an act that she's pulling? Like I don't know their approach to that. You know,
I think what it is more so it's a case of it's not that she's like planning stuff behind her back. I think it's a case of like, and I'm not granted I'm not familiar with the Wonder Woman comics and stuff more. So maybe Elliot, you can help me out here. But like, I think that it's a case of Cheetah, the actual person being sort of like really obsessed with Diana in this regard, and like obviously I feel like there'll be some sort of like romantic interest on her ends, and then she doesn't get that reciprocated or something like that, and so it kind of like she gets really like upset and jealous and hurt by that, and obviously tries to take it out on her, and then I don't know, maybe Pedro Pascal taps her as like the to help out or whatnot. I have absolutely no idea, but
what is her set of powers, Elliot? Do you know?
I mean, besides the physical attributes as far as like superhuman strength, she has the animalistic kind of sense of like abilities of knowing what's around and just having that primal instinct of an animal and just being vicious and a savage. But right, like what Griffin was saying, they have a relationship between Barbara and Diana. They're really close friends. Barbara looks up to her, and she is a little bit of obsessive, but she's also not looked upon as far as like people kind of downplay her. She works at a museum, so she's not, the most people don't look at the attraction to that character. So when she takes off her glasses and she kind of embraces the cheetah, a mantra, she becomes more of that primal animal. So it's going to be a matter of just a little bit of jealousy, but also a little bit of that cheetah animalistic nature takes over and becomes more of that primal kind of savage animal that we're going to see in this film. So it's going to be a great story for sure.
Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah. So I got to talk about a trailer, because we know this trailer was supposed to premiere with Tenet, and obviously Tenet is still supposedly coming out September 4th. But as far as what they're going to show at DC Fandom, I just wanted to get your guys' takes. What are you hoping to see in that Wonder Woman 84 sneak peek that we probably haven't seen yet in the previous trailers? So Elliot, what are you hoping to see?
The one thing I don't want to see, but I know they're probably going to show, is Cheetah. I wanted to kind of keep that behind the scenes until we see it in the big screen, but they have to market the film and kind of have that, show that primal villain that's going to be kind of the main foil. So I know we're going to get that, but I would love to see, I love the first trailer, the energy, the vibes of the 80s, but I want to kind of harken back to the original trailer from the first Wonder Woman, with No Man's Land, seeing her climb up the ladder and seeing that kind of inspiration of Wonder Woman. I would love to get a moment in the new trailer to kind of get us like, okay, this is because again, this looks fun. It's the 80s. It has those vibes, but I would love to get that the more dramatic, like, this is Wonder Woman. Again, going back to that powerful scene in the first one with No Man's Land. I would love to get something like that where I think we saw in the first trailer where she's like fighting off a missile and she's jumping on like tanks. So I would love to see that dramatic element be brought into this new trailer to really get us that hopeful feel.
Yeah. I'm gonna echo a lot of what Elliot said. I think you need. I don't want them to give too much away. And I'd be okay if we got like a quick glimpse of Cheetah, or something like that. Obviously, don't want it to linger on it for too long, just because I feel like it'll be something cool that we see in the trailer. But I think, given the delays and stuff like that, they got to give us something fresh and new like that. But I want to see like a little bit more of the spectacle. Maybe show us a little bit more when she gets the gold armor or something like that, and she's like lassoing the lightning or whatnot, and sort of like, you know, swinging on that. I think that could be a really cool that could be really cool to show. I also just want to get a little bit more of Pedro Pascal. If he's going to be the main villain, and forgive me for I forget what his what the name of the villain is. It's I'm blanking on it. I forget. I forget what it is, but I want to get a little bit more of him, what he's all about, what his sort of plan is, on how it sort of connects with Wonder Woman and stuff like that. Because I think there's a lot of interesting ways you can go about him with that character and such. So I'm hoping for a little bit more of the plot, not a whole lot, but I feel like because I don't know much just based off of that first trailer, I want to like see where they're sort of heading with this story, and then also give me just a little bit more spectacle. But ultimately, they don't have to do much to sell me on the film. I feel like they don't have to do much to sell most people on the film. It's the sequel to Wonder Woman. People are going to go out and see it. So we'll see what happens.
And Maxwell Lord was the character.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, Maxwell Lord. Okay. Yeah.
Colin, thank God Elliot's. I was just saying, thank God Elliot's here. I would have never known.
Yeah, thank goodness, man.
Thank goodness. Yeah, I mean, I would mimic a lot of what you guys said, especially like initially I was thinking like, oh, I don't know if I because I'm never really like with trailers like, well, what do you hope to see? I don't really. I'm gonna see it anyway. So if it's more of a question of if it's the trailer sucks, I'll be the first one to tell you that. But I doubt it will be. Honestly, I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, the first one was fantastic, but I do want to maybe get a little bit more of the plot. That was one thing about like the Rise of Skywalker. Not one single trailer kind of told you what the story was. We saw like the hero poses and kind of lightsaber battles and John Williams' score and some like quotes from like popular characters, but we never really got like. And that was what the first Wonder Woman, kind of trailer was. So I like a little bit more of just a smidge of the plot, like kind of what the mission's going to be or what's going to go into it. And then Cheetah too, just like the look of her. I haven't seen the set photos at all. I haven't even looked. I've heard about them on multiple occasions, maybe 3 from just you, Griffin, alone. I don't know. I've never actually went into looking at Cheetah's the set photos of her and like the look of her character. So I'd be interested in maybe seeing that for the first time and just kind of the vibe that they're going to give off. And like you said, Elliot, a little bit less fun. Love comic book movies. Love like the fun vibes to it. Yeah. But maybe a little bit more like the diving into the emotion, because I agree with you that No Man's Land scene in Wonder Woman is like one of the most emotionally impactful scenes in any comic book movie.
Yeah, it's great. Max Bolton, thank you so much for that super chat, man. Really appreciate that. Thank you for that. Anyway, yeah, I'm really hoping that we're just gonna get greatness. Usually I don't like to watch lots of movie trailers. I like to go into the movies not knowing much of anything. With this new one, I'm pretty sure they're going to show a lot of stuff we have seen before. I'd love to see some new things sprinkled in there, but not big reveals like Cheetah in her suit and stuff like that. Like, I want to be saved of that movie theater experience. But regardless, this movie's going to be amazing. I'm excited for it. Patty Jenkins, anything she does, again, throw it at me. And Gal Gadot as well. Anything she's in, throw it at me.
Yeah, man.
All right, so I think we're done talking about Wonder Woman 84.
Answer some questions, and I'll send the link to the next group.
We're going to talk about Flash for a little bit.
Okay, go for it. Yeah.
All right, there's really not much to talk about with The Flash, with that movie's getting made, Andy Muschietti doing it, and with Ezra Miller. They're going to be at this short 10-minute or something long panel, but I don't think there's going to show much of anything. I want to hear Griffin's take on The Flash, first of all, with Ezra Miller in a solo movie.
Oh, yeah.
And Andy, what's your take on that?
Yeah, just like the film in general?
Yeah, the film in general. What do you think they're going to show and your excitement level for it?
Yeah, I am mildly excited. Again, I'm not the biggest Ezra Miller fan for many reasons. One, I'm kind of still shocked that he has the job as Flash after that incident sort of that went around with him choking out the fan and stuff like that. That's kind of surprising and weird. But even more than that, I don't like his interpretation of the Flash. Granted,
neither do I.
I mean, granted, I don't know. Maybe Zack Snyder's Justice League will change that, and when we see that movie, it'll be like, okay, we saw what Zack Snyder saw, and when casting Ezra Miller. That being said, it just doesn't really work for me. And I feel like Ezra Miller is only a good actor in certain kinds of movies. So
the perks being a wallflower.
yeah, like that, like that's perfect. That utilizes his skill set well. The Flash, not so much. But outside of that, I'm excited at the prospect of them just getting weird and opening up the Elseworlds and the multiverse and stuff like that inside of the DCEU. Obviously, like, Keaton coming back to play Batman in the film, I think is going to be a big draw for a lot of people. And whenever that gets announced, if it did actually go through, that's something that I don't know. It like opens up a whole new realm of possibilities for it. So, and Keaton's not going to be a big part of the film, but like, I mean, seeing the seed sort of planted there for like an inevitable Batman Beyond film and so forth, like that's the stuff that gets me excited. And then also, like, it's the first Flash movie that we'll ever get. So like there's a lot like that's just kind of exciting in and of itself. And it'll be I'll be curious to see how they differentiate themselves from the TV series. But the big thing for me is that I just want them to, like, with Andy Muschietti, he showed with the It movies that he can get weird, he can do crazy stuff, but he can also tackle human emotion really, really well. And I want him to bring that balance to this Flash film. So that his involvement gets me excited.
Oh, absolutely, man. I agree with all you said. Colin, I want to get your take on this. I know some of the It movies, like the second one, you weren't a huge fan of, but Andy Muschietti,
No.
does him being involved with this get you more interested in the Flash or not at all?
I mean, it's kind of split because I love the first It and I borderline hate the second one. So it's kind of like, it's one of those. I mean, even the second one has a vision behind it. I see where he's going. I think it was cool that a big studio like Warner Brothers gave him so much creative freedom in the movie. So, I mean, my big thing is that's interesting in its own right. Flash, having a movie with him as a character and having its own solo movie is really, gets me pumped because I've always liked the Flash character. Like, when I'm back to like the Justice League cartoons and the video games and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. My big issue, honestly, is like the Ezra Miller situation. Obviously, we saw the video, everyone did. I at first thought it was like fake because it was like looked kind of like sus in certain ways. It was confirmed, by police officers that it was indeed real. And the fact that Warner Brothers has said zero. I mean, maybe they can do it during this panel. They've said nothing is weird. That's like just weird, especially when you consider that other people from Warner Brothers have gotten fired for things that were far worse, like tweets that were 10 years ago that were offensive. So it's like, if we as a company have a line and you cross that line, that's fine. Then you fire people. But clearly, choking a girl and sending tweets is worse, So he crossed the line and there's nothing being said. So if he's being forgiven for that's fine. And if he, hey, he's going to take anger management classes or whatever, and we're dealing with them and we're working with them and, he apologized, he'll never do it again, whatever. Like, that's fine. But I'm just saying, can we address it? Like, this is weird that we're not talking about. Like people do things all the time. Anytime anybody wins an award or is going to be the next host of this event, something comes out that they did something bad 10 years ago. A guy actually physically chokes a woman on video. No. And no one's talking about it. I'm just confused. So I'm like, my excitement for the movie has been like drained from my frustration over this and just the hypocrisy of the media, really, because of we cancel so many people every single day and then nothing happens with them. So and then even separating the art from the artist, I don't even think he's that great of a Flash. So.
Yeah, right.
But I will say this before I will say they could right a lot of wrongs with this movie because, the convoluted nature of the DC universe a little bit. You can be okay, this is canon, this is not, this is connected to this is, kind of put some, connect some dots. I think that's a good opportunity to do that too because it's opening up a multiverse, if you will.
True.
Yeah.
Elliot, did you have anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, to keep it short, I mean, this is the biggest DC film on their slate because this is supposed to wipe the slate clean of the previous DC iterations of, Superman and Henry Cavill and all that stuff. So this is a really big film. And just quickly to address the Ezra Miller stuff, I mean, there's certain people in Hollywood, as we see with El Gore, with the whole West Side Story stuff, we don't hear anything about that anymore. So there's certain people that just are, I don't want to say untouchable, but there's certain things get swept under the rug. But we'll see what comes of that. But in regards to this movie, I can't be more excited. Flash, behind like Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman, he's right there in my top tier as far as like DC characters. A couple casting I would love to hear for Saturday. Jessica Chastain as maybe Flash's mom. You bring in James McAvoy from It Chapter 2 as Reverse Flash, because we all know he can play an incredible villain from Split. Hope we get some announcement there. And Reverse Flash, if you guys aren't too familiar with that character in comics, is literally one of the best DC villains in the entire rogue gallery. And Flash in general just has a great rogue gallery himself with all the stuff that he has there, Zoom and all that stuff, Gorilla Grodd. So I'm really looking forward to it. Again, as Griffin reported months ago with Michael Keaton, it'll be interesting to see if they make any announcements there with the Batman Beyond, any tie-ins to all that stuff. So
that'd be awesome.
Very excited for it. It's only 10 minutes. We're not going to get any footage because they haven't shot anything. So probably some concept art and, like I said, some casting notes, and also just giving us a better idea of it's not the Flashpoint comic or the Flashpoint animated film we got years ago with Wonder Woman versus Aquaman and killing Mara and all that stuff. Then what is the actual storyline? Again, is it Flash going back to saving his mom, who again, Jessica Chastain, I think would be great as that cast member. But what's the ripples effect? What's the whole cleaning the slate of the DC? So I am beyond excited for this. Christina Hawkins is the writer for Bumblebee and some Birds of Prey into this. So she's a hot commodity right now. So I love her writing sensibility. So I am super excited for the Flash announcements. And again, like Colin said, separating the art from the artist, sometimes it's kind of hard to do that. But when you have a director that can pull out the best of you, Andy Muschietti, I think is a great director, as you guys had mentioned in regards to what he did with those kids in It. That could have make or break the film, but he was able to gather the talent from those young guys. So I can only imagine what he could do with someone that does have a decent resume. We got to talk about Kevin, person being a wildflower. He's a good actor. I just think it takes a good director to bring out those great sensibilities in him. So I couldn't be more excited for The Flash.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, same as these guys, pretty much. Andy Muschietti, you just have him as the director. You obviously have some interest in it. And The Flash as a character, love just the character and how he looked. Never read the comics. And with Ezra Miller, I'm not a big fan of his Flash, really. But as regards to this movie, man, Andy Muschietti, he's a very creative director. And again, like you guys said, Jessica Chastain, that'd be a great casting addition in there. And James McAvoy is Reverse Flash or something like that. I would have never known that if it wasn't for Elliot. But regardless, it'll be exciting to see the short amount of news that they have for The Flash. And I couldn't be excited for it more. All right, so that's going to do it for The Flash. Now we're just going to get to the Q&A stuff because we are falling behind here. Let's go to the chat. I saw Cody asked a good question here. We're going to get to Cody's question. Favorite dark humor or black comedy film?
Oh, man.
I'm going to go The Art of Self-Defense.
That's a good one.
That movie. And then, of course, I'll say it again. More satirical, not really dark. Election. But it's mean-spirited humor.
Election, that's a good one that I watched recently.
I'll go with, would we consider Fargo a dark comedy?
Yeah.
And I'll go American Psycho.
American Psycho, that's my favorite.
And I'll throw in Parasite, because I think that's a dark comedy.
Well, Parasite, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And Nightcrawler.
I will say,
is that a dark comedy?
I consider it a dark comedy.
Very dark.
I don't know, but it's very, very dark. But I'll say American Psycho is straight up hilarious. It is. Like American Psycho is literally a comedy.
It's unintentionally funny. Yeah.
No, I think it's intentional. I meant
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler. Yeah.
I find it funny. All right, that's a great question. Everyone's saying fire. Nicholas Lloyd, favorite coming of age movie. Colin did a video on this.
Yeah, it's my forte. Perks being a wallflower for me.
I'll go with the Sandlot. I love that movie. It's a baseball movie and a coming of age film as well. I love the characters, love the quotes, and just the filmmaking and the fact that you feel like you're in childhood. I wanted to be with those kids in the treehouse, getting chased by the dog and stuff like that. That's just a classic coming of age kids film that I love. Elliot?
Since sticking with the vibe of comedy, I'll just go with my favorite comedy of all time, Superbad.
Yeah,
that's
Superbad's good. Superbad's good. Oh man, this is tough for me. I mean, you could consider Little Women a coming of age film. I think that's a really good one. I know it's recent, but yeah, that's really good. Moonlight is excellent. Obviously Perks is phenomenal. Yeah,
I didn't know you meant Perks being. Well, I was like Perks. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
Like, what's
Perks? No. Sorry, Perks being a wallflower. Oh, also, I guess Spider-Verse is kind of a coming of age film too. When you think about it,
yeah, it's my favorite genre, man. Gotta show some love.
J-Buck Studios is in here. What is going on? Do you think Cheetah will utilize the technology used for cats? God, I hope not.
So. I hope so.
No, Patty's gonna definitely take more care with that technology for sure.
I want to see it.
I want to see it. That'd be awesome. All right, let's answer one more. We got a super chat. Yeah. Max Bolton, once again, thank you so much, man, for the super chat.
Awesome.
Do you think Pirates 6 will work without Johnny Depp?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it will because I think basically what they'll do is they'll just go in a completely different direction. Yeah. I understand like the hesitation to sort of like, Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow has kind of become synonymous with the franchise, but I almost, outside of that original trilogy, after they finished that, I almost kind of wish that they had followed different pirates on different adventures, because that's the great thing about this world is that there are so many different, quests people can go on. They can, show different parts of the seven seas.
The ocean is very big.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very big. There's plenty of other pirates out there, as we saw in the third one. So let's follow some new folks. And if they wanted to take pirates from the ride, which I believe Karen Gillan's character is going to be, I feel like that could be a fun way of doing it too. So I think it can work. Just kind of make it like a soft reboot or something along that nature.
What about you, Elliot? I know I need to revisit the Pirates movies.
I'm surprised that we haven't gotten announcements for Disney Plus pirate shows, whether it be animated or live action, and kind of take a page of the MCU where you introduce these characters on TV first and then you see them in film. So you have that kind of transition from we're used to a 10 episode season. Now let's get excited for them on the big screen. So I'm surprised we haven't gotten TV announcements for Disney Plus, but I think it'll work just because I think even though Johnny Depp is known for, that character, I think the IP still has that big enough clout to it that people are still excited for it. So I think it'll work.
I agree with you guys. I'm not like probably as big as a fan as some of you guys are and some of my friends, but I still really enjoy the Pirates movies. And I think you just go in a new direction. It might not require kind of that Jack Sparrow type character because it's a different story. You can do something just as fun, but at the same time take itself a little bit more seriously, but still having that kind of, whimsical nature to it. And you might not require kind of a drunk pirate like Jack Sparrow. So he's fine.
I agree. I need to revisit the movies. All right. That is going to do it for segment 1/group 1 with Elliot and Griffin. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on to do this last minute, celebrating my birthday and talking DC fandom. Before we end you guys off, we're going to put the spotlight on you again. And Griffin, where can people find you on your social media?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Griff Schiller. You can also head on over to the FilmSpeak Twitter, which is just @_FilmSpeak. We've been posting a lot of great articles on our website, filmspeak.net, interviews and all that good stuff. So, and then you can also find me at FilmSpeak on YouTube. I just actually did a Lovecraft Country recap and review with Elliot and Jared, who's in the chat. So it will continue to do those week in and week out. So thanks for having me on again, Ryan. It was a lot of fun. And again, happy birthday, dude.
Thank you, man. It was a blast to have you on, as always. And Elliot, same exact thing. Where can people find you on the social media? What do you have coming out on your channel? You can let the guests know.
Yeah, again, it's a happy birthday, man. It's always great when you celebrate the birthday, even during these crazy times, man. It's awesome. So happy birthday to you, and then it's always great to see Colin and of course Griffin there. So yeah, guys, you can find me on Instagram at Movie Files, Twitter at Movie Files Live, and then of course on YouTube. Like Griffin said, check out that Lovecraft Country review that we did yesterday with Jaron. It was such a great conversation and such a great show. So definitely check it out if you guys haven't already. And then as far as the channel goes, We got reviews for Netflix movies. We got, it's the second episode of Lovecraft Country. So a lot of stuff coming pretty soon this week. And very excited to talk movies and TV with you all and talk about DC fandom next week. I have a lot of things planned as far as like YouTube lives, Instagram lives, because I'm a DC fanatic. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So it's a great week to be a DC fan. So again, guys, thank you for having me on. Happy birthday to you, Ryan. And I'm excited to watch the rest of this and see all the great other collaborators that you guys have on this stream. So thank you guys again for having me on.
Absolutely, Elliot. It's always a blast to have all my friends on. Again, guys, Elliot and Griffin's social media links, their YouTube links are in the description. Thank you guys for coming on as we invite on the next guest.
Thank you, guys.
Take care, guys.
All right, Colin, you ready for group 2? They're already here backstage.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
All right, let me just get the folder ready so I can introduce them. All right, our first guest in group 2. I've collaborated with him a good amount of times. You Talk Rotten or Fresh and other channels. We've been on his podcast as well, Live Movies and Nonsense. He's a great entertainer. I love him as a comedic YouTuber as well as a movie reviewer in general. J Buck Studios, Jared Buckendahl, what is going on to you, sir?
Hello, everyone. Ryan, congrats. The Sweet 16. You just hit 16.
I'm 16 again?
Yeah. Did you pick out the Escalade or the Hummer? Which one are you getting?
Well, I have one car. I'll probably get a Hummer. I always wanted a Hummer.
There you go.
A Hummer?
No, Sweet 16, man. No, thank you so much for inviting me over for this big old birthday bash and whatnot to talk some comic books and answer some questions and whatnot.
Yes, this is going to be very entertaining and awesome. Thank you, Jared, for coming on here.
Absolutely.
And our last guest for group 2 right here. I had him on a Q&A most recently. See him in my comments all the time, collaborating with a bunch of people. He's a big MCU fan. He also has a podcast called the Film Saga Podcast. We got to talk to Chris here from Film Stocked. Chris, how you doing, man?
What's going on, Ryan? Happy birthday, man. You share a birthday with the legendary Robert De Niro. I don't know if you knew that. But
I knew that.
Talking to me? You
Yeah.
talking to me? Yeah, it's great. But
Hell yeah.
I share a birthday with Kevin from The Office, so all I get's the big tub of chili that he drops. But thank you for having me on. I'm excited to be here. It's gonna be fun.
And I share a birthday with Martin Luther King. I will shout that out too. Actually.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, guys. It's awesome.
All right, boys. This is going to be awesome, man. Just like before, we're going to talk some more DC fandom panels. And with that, let's get to the exciting ones. You guys got the exciting ones. Let's talk about James Gunn's Suicide Squad. That's the third panel that is going to be dropping there. James Gunn's going to be there. Some of the cast members, they're going to introduce a lot of stuff right here. Hopefully we can get a little bit of a sneak peek trailer. That'd be awesome. I want to kick it off with Jared here. Jared, what are you hoping to see for this Suicide Squad panel?
What are we, some sort of Suicide Squad? Someone's got to say that line at least in the movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I am hopefully we get some sort of teaser, some sort of like quick behind the scenes footage or something. But I'm very excited for this because just those behind the scenes photos of those like ridiculous like pastel colored outfits and stuff. I think it's going to be weird, it's going to be goofy, and a lot of people it's going to be a huge group of people, and we're going to end up with like 4 people at the end because everyone's just going to get taken out. I mean, not even the cast is packed as well. I'm not going to steal everyone's thunder here, but moving on, someone else talk right now. I'm just too excited.
Well,
for this movie.
they on the logo there was like the bunch of gunshots and stuff.
Yeah.
So people were like, hey, does that mean people are dying? Does this represent the amount of deaths we're going to get?
Yeah.
That's what James Gunn was saying. That's what James Gunn was saying. There's going to be consequences in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to Chris, guys, if you're just tuning on in here, you want your question answered as soon as possible, please throw in that super chat if you want it answered. You don't have to. It's just there if you want your question answered, guaranteed, because we get a lot of questions and stuff like that. So, Chris, what's your thoughts overall on the Suicide Squad? I know you're not a fan at all of the 2016 one. So what are you hoping to see from this?
Yeah, I think that the 2016 Suicide Squad is a disaster, dude. Like, if anyone knows me, I know Colin knows. I can't stand the movie. One of my least favorite movies of all time. I do love James Gunn, though. I love the first Guardians. Guardians 2 is all right, so seeing his direction, I think, should be fun. But I'm not really, like, super excited. I know the cast is loaded. It's got, like, Pete Davidson, John Cena, of course, Margot Robbie coming back. But I'm just not, like, that excited until I see some footage. I think I'm that kind of guy that needs to see a little bit of footage to really get amped up for it. And also, I just think it's going to confuse the common fan. Like, so is Idris Elba playing Deadshot? Like, is he playing the Will Smith version, or is it like a new timeline? Like, I just think that it's going to be like a huge continuity mess, in my opinion.
I think he was. Oh God,
He was,
is it like Golden Tiger or something?
Is he someone else? Okay.
I'm checking the cast right
Yeah.
now. So, Idris Elba. It doesn't say who he's playing, actually. I know Viola Davis is returning as Amanda Waller, Margot Robbie, and Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag. Jai Courtney's also returning to Captain Boomerang.
He was
I don't see who they're playing, actually. But yeah, all those cast members that are in it.
No, Chris, you make a great point about, like, for example, my brother. He's not into this like we are, so he's gonna be like, "What the hell? Like, is
My
this
parents,
a sequel?
my
Is it
parents
not?" Yeah,
too.
yeah.
What is this Suicide Squad?
Yeah, which sure, it'll confuse some people that are maybe in the middle that are aware of the 2016 one, but I think that they're just like, screw it, who cares? We're just gonna put this movie out and hope for the best.
That's what the mentality's been for DC. It's been like, screw it. And thank you so much, Jaron.
Jaron Talks Movies. Thank you for the $3 super chat, man. Chris, please do us the honor and sing for us.
You want me to sing Happy Birthday? Does anyone want to join me, or am I doing this solo?
I'll do the cha-cha-cha.
Do the cha-cha-cha.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
no, that'd be like,
You want me to sing? All right.
All
All right, I'll sing. 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
You're
Happy
dragon.
birthday, dear Ryan.
You're Russian.
Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday to you. I'm tone deaf.
Just there.
Whoa.
Thank you guys very much. That was awesome. Fantastic.
Okay, that was great, Chris. I'm so glad I got that.
Colin.
Sorry that your ears are bleeding now.
Dude, literally, I have to change out these
Rip
AirPods.
headphone
You probably need
users.
Yeah, I'm like, it's like whiplash up in here. I'm like, it's just bloody. Mess.
So,
Give a
okay,
calculator
hey,
to a retard.
the-
He'll turn the TV on with it.
The character I looked up, I guess it's Bronze Tiger. That's what it's rumored he's gonna be playing.
Okay.
Rumorville. Okay. Thanks,
okay.
Jared. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, as far as me, I kind of mimic everything Chris said. I kind of like one of those people, like, the footage thing, like Chris said, like, I need kind of to get excitement. And then I'm the same way. Like, it's going to be confusing to the average fan. We can, as fans that talk about this stuff all the time, we can be like, okay, this is, a new we can, we're just able to be aware of things like that. Okay, the Joker movie isn't a part of the DC, it's its own separate thing. Or it's just, there's some confusing elements to the DC. It's come off to a rocky start for sure, but they had kind of a hot streak with some pretty good movies, or at least well-received movies. I didn't love everything that comes out. But yeah, man, I think the Suicide Squad, James Gunn, like you said, Chris, a big fan of the first one, not a big fan of the second one, like, at all. Yeah, I mean, the first Suicide Squad movie isn't great either, but, new cast. I'm actually looking forward to Pete Davidson. Really impressed me.
Pete Davidson.
And The King of Staten Island. I mean, I love The King of Staten Island. It's my favorite movie still this year. So I'm really, really looking forward to see what he does in here. But it's just, yeah, like you said, it's just like that continuity thing that kind of makes you ask some questions. But definitely going to see some more footage too. And hopefully we get it during the actual, we get to see it pretty soon.
And one thing that's going to probably actually bump this movie in kind of popularity and whatnot is the Suicide Squad game that's coming out as well, because they've hinted at it this week. I'm sure they're going to potentially show maybe a teaser trailer for that or some gameplay as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree with
I'm
you.
looking forward to that game, dude. That game's going to be sick.
Oh, yeah.
Is that game in like the same light as the Arkham games? Because I love the Batman Arkham games.
I believe it's the same people. I'm trying to look up who developed that one, but yeah, it's the full title. Oh, Rocksteady. There we go. Rocksteady. Full title is Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. So I mean, it's right on the nose. They're going for it.
All right.
That should be pretty cool.
With the Suicide Squad all around, their characters, again, I didn't know anything going into the 2016 one. And then with David Ayer, I watched Fury. I love that movie. And you guys should definitely watch that if you haven't. So I was excited for Suicide Squad. And I walked out actually enjoying it on first watch. I didn't get the hate for it. But the more I revisited the 3 times total, I didn't like it.
It took a matter of like minutes for me to realize. Like, I remember thinking, hey, it was okay. And then it took like legit like like maybe like an hour for me to realize, whoa, wait. That didn't make any sense. That didn't make any sense. That didn't make any sense. Wait. Yeah. So
what's going on here? Anyway, so yeah, this gets me even more pumped because I thought James Gunn was an even better choice to do the Suicide Squad because, you know, he's known for that dark comedy, just the darkness he could bring to certain characters. And with just the original cast that was returning as well as the new additions like Pete Davidson, John Cena, it seems like he's going to bring all these personalities with all these different characters into this one movie. And it just gets me very pumped, man. Hopefully we do get a trailer for it. It's so exciting and what they're going to reveal in terms of concept art and stuff like that.
Sorry, Ryan, to cut you off. I'm curious what your guys' kind of take on this is, or think like, do you? James Gunn said it's very much like 100% James Gunn. Do you want it to be kind of more comedic? Do you want it to be more serious and dark, or do you want that kind of middle line for this film?
I think the middle line for sure.
Middle ground.
I think that's what the biggest problem was. Guardians Volume 2 is too much jokes. Didn't take itself seriously. I mean, the first one's hilarious, and but there was like a heart aspect to it. Guardians Volume 2 definitely has heart, like especially in lieu of what happens to Yondu and stuff. But I think they just hammered too much the jokes. They turned Drax into like a cartoon character. I don't want to see any of that. I don't want to see any character that was once a badass all of a sudden become a cartoon character. Like Drax was a badass in the first one.
Is Batista in this? The Suicide Squad?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
think so.
Oh. Yeah, hopefully they don't go that
John
route.
Cena's in it as well, which he's kind of hit or miss.
Yeah.
As well. I mean, Playing with Fire should have gotten nominated for many awards last year.
Just a bunch of poopy stuff. He pooped in the woods. That deserves an Oscar nomination.
That was up there with the Fanatics interpretation of pooping as well.
Can't talk to him. I gotta poo.
Yeah, so it is. Yeah, so I mean, the cast is good. James Gunn, I really, like I said, he's a talented filmmaker. Even Guardians Volume 2 isn't like a Batman movie; it just doesn't work for me on like basically any level. But
yeah, I would love to see like the Suicide Squad, the James Gunn Suicide Squad, essentially like a slightly darker version of the first Guardians movie, with more characters. That's basically what I would expect to see out of it, and I would love it if they could do it the right way. You know, not the disaster music video that the first Suicide Squad was.
Exactly. All right, so now, boys, let's get to the Snyder Cut. Snyder's Justice League. This is the second panel to drop. We've obviously got some exciting reveals with the Snyder Cut going to HBO Max. And Zack Snyder saying it's going to be roughly 4-hour cut of his version of the Justice League. Thank goodness. Like, there's a lot of potential for this. And Jared's laughing. I want to hear what your take is.
Just the fact that you said 4 hours, I started laughing because, again, this is not going to be your like traditional movie for sure. Because they're going back, they're reworking everything, they're adding a bunch of special effects. Who knows how much they're adding? Because he came out and said he doesn't want to use a single frame from Joss Whedon.
He could burn every copy.
Something
like that.
I don't know. It's this thing where it's like I'm very when it first started, this whole like release the Snyder Cut. I was like, whatever. Over the time, I'm more and more intrigued. I don't know if I'm excited. I'm curious. I want to see what this is, how much is different, if this potentially sets up like a part 2 and whatnot. I mean, all the cast apparently is raving about it and whatnot. Plus, at DC Fandom, aren't we supposed to get a teaser trailer for it? The first teaser.
Yes.
So I don't know. I guess this weekend we'll at least know what the hell this movie kind of looks like.
Yeah, we got that one little.
We got Black Suit Superman.
Yeah, so. Black Suit Superman, which apparently is a big deal. I don't really know anything about that.
It heals him in the comics, from what I heard. So that'll be exciting. Chris, I know. What's your take on the Snyder Cut overall? All the the release, the Snyder Cut for all these 3 years and stuff. It's now finally here, going to HBO Max. What's your take on this? What are you hoping to see? Maybe Deathstroke, something like this in the Snyder Cut. What are you hoping to see, man?
I will say, like, I didn't hate Justice League the first time I saw it. It's gone down drastically, like, over time. My favorite part of that movie, though, in theaters was the post-credit scene. That was so awesome. The Deathstroke reveal, the Joe Manganiello, I think.
Spoilers!
Oh, yeah, I know. I just ruined someone's day. But yeah, I would love to see him incorporated into the Snyder Cut. I heard that they might do this, like, as like episodes, like hour-long episodes. I don't know if that was just like a fan fiction thing, but I would prefer to see that. Because I'm not like amped about this either. Like I'm not the big DC guy, if you could tell by my thoughts on Suicide Squad or just the movies in general. But if they did like episodes, I think it would be more digestible to like me at least, because I don't want to sit down and watch a 4-hour Justice League movie. I don't get it.
No, Chris, absolutely. That's the thing is like 4 hours. That's a long part of your day.
Yeah.
If they do it right, if they're doing hour chunks and it makes sense, like I don't want them to just cut it when all of a sudden someone's gonna get punched in the face. Like it needs to somewhat make sense.
Yeah, I would prefer a show as well. 4 hours is just kind of too much of an ask.
That's way too long for the average viewer.
Yeah, it's way too long for the average viewer, maybe from the diehards. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest. When I first saw the first Justice League, as a person who was really disappointed in Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman, I've kind of shifted my views on Justice League a little bit. But when I first saw it, I thought it was fine. I was like, I had fun with it. It wasn't like near like what it should be for a Justice League movie. But being how low my expectations were with how rocky the DC started, of course we had Wonder Woman, which I love. I was such a huge fan of that movie. But I was just not really looking forward to the movie in the first place. So I got it, and I was like, yeah, the villain sucked. Yeah, it was kind of just like the ending was pretty anticlimactic and it was oversaturated kind of nonsense. But I liked it for what it was. And then of course, the more you think about it, you're like, yeah. When you compare it to some of the stuff like the Avengers, like how pumped were we and how great of a theatrical experience was that when we first saw it. And then Justice League, arguably even a bigger kind of IP, especially like when you going back towards like before the MCU kind of was birthed as a franchise, like Justice League was like it, at least that's was for me. I grew up watching like the cartoons and stuff. So for that to kind of be the first Justice League movie is just a major disappointment. And so the Snyder Cut stuff comes out, and I'm a little bit like, yeah, it's never going to happen. I always thought there was a Snyder Cut. Like I always believed there is a cut of the movie. Like there's no, like I believe that he has his initial vision for it, but it's not going to be finished like the CGI and stuff. Mm-hmm. Then of course Warner Brothers wrote a big fat check, they said $30 million, but I was even hearing that's even much more tn that. The guy said he wishes it was $30 million because of how much is probably going to upwards of more like $70 million. So I'm looking forward to see his vision. If I had to predict if this movie is going to be any good or not, it's kind of hard to say because the very nature of Zack Snyder's filmmaking is he's divisive. That's just kind of who he is. And you either kind of love the guy or you hate him, not the person, but like his filmmaking. And so it's cool to see his vision and all that. But the Snyder Cut is kind of one of those things I'm excited to see, but I'm a little nervous at the same time because then if we just get two crappy Justice Leagues, that's
be careful what you wish for. Are you kind of
Yeah, it is exactly. That's exactly what it is. Be careful what you wish for, because now we have two shitty Justice League movies that do not want that. Yeah,
Colin, you made a great point of the whole divisive kind of whatnot. Like this is going to be a thing where it's going to be, are people going to love it no matter what because they got what they wanted, or are they going to shit on it because that's the cool thing to do? I'm curious how this will, if you're saying if this is just bad again, it's like, ooh, maybe we should back out and not let people do this moving forward. I don't know. I'm curious. Again, I'm very curious.
I'm in the same ballpark. I was not for the release, the Snyder Cut, all that jazz for 3 years. I love to see a director get his full-on vision, and that's the case with Zack Snyder. He gets a lot of hate, and I understand some of the hate he gets, but not all of it. He's a great filmmaker, great director of action, spectacle, visual, storytelling, and stuff like that. But the script is always his biggest issue in some of his films, like BVS and Justice League. The screenplay does not work. And with his version of the Justice League, there's a lot of stuff in there that Joss Whedon didn't really showcase in what Zack Snyder wanted. So in terms of the 4-hour cut, I agree. Just release them in episodes for sure. Not the average viewer is going to want to sit for 4 hours and watch a movie. And so it will be cool to see a lot of the stuff we saw from the original Justice League, but just better. Obviously with Darkseid having a huge part to this, Deathstroke, all these villains we wanted to see in the original cut. Not freaking... I forgot his name. Steppenwolf? No.
Steppenwolf, baby.
Steppenwolf. Who cares? So it'll be exciting to see Lex Luthor possibly having a role in this.
This was the movie that Chris gave up on the DCEU.
This is
Right?
correct.
This
I've
is
not
not
been a
the
DCEU film since.
Yeah.
You haven't seen a DCEU movie since.
That's right.
Um,
Yeah,
I just stopped
yeah.
watching them. Yeah.
I'm curious, what do you guys want to see? I know there's been a lot of rumors.
Yeah,
you
that
know,
was
the
gonna be
Green
my next
Lantern-
question.
Okay, perfect. Stole it right from Ryan. Ryan, you take the floor.
Yeah, what did you guys personally want to see in this Snyder Cut? A Green Lantern. That's what I want to see. Yeah.
I don't care. I really don't. Just make
Colin just like
I'm sorry, but I'm kind of with Colin here.
yeah, I just don't. I don't care.
Yeah,
I really
that's
don't.
fine.
Like,
That's fine.
and
Yeah.
I just want to well made. Like people like ask the question all the time. Like it's like, and it's a fair question. I completely get it, but it's like because other people care, and I just happen to, So when people say, "What do you want?" I'm like, I just make a good movie. You could freaking just have them sitting around dialogue, smoking pipes, and if it's Tarantino level dialogue, I'm sure I'll be entertained. But like, I don't care. It's like just make a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. All right. So anyway, guys, let's get to the Q&A questions. Let's answer some questions here. Pixar fan 2007. What's your least favorite comic book movie of all time? His is Fant Four Stick. That's a great one. My God. Probably Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. That movie is just an embarrassment to cinema. If you haven't seen it, go watch it for yourself.
I think I'm gonna say The Phantom with Billy Zane. I've only seen it on TVs at a video game bar where I live, so I guess that maybe that's not doing it justice, but I just feel like it's very schlocky and just weird.
Yeah.
The only reason I've ever heard of that movie is from Chris Stuckman's Blu-ray
Chris
collection.
Stuckman. Yeah, I was about
That's the only reason I've ever heard of it. But for me, I've already talked about it enough. It's Suicide Squad. I just don't like that movie, and I hate to sit here and just keep going in on it, but it was just a bad first
like being a
experience.
dead
man.
horse.
Yeah.
For
A
me,
big old poopy on it.
yeah, Superman 4. What about you, Colin?
It's hard, man. It's really hard to say. Oh my God, I can't even think of one off the top of my head. I guess I'd go Suicide Squad too, because usually if I hear a superhero movie's bad, I don't watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those, like the Ben Affleck movie, Daredevil. Never saw Catwoman.
Oh man. Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Elektra. That's a really bad one.
Yeah,
Elektra. Yeah.
I just haven't seen.
Or
I haven't seen a
Catwoman.
lot of like. Yeah. So that's what I say.
I never actually
Steel.
saw Fan Four Stick. I need to see that still. Fan Four Stick.
Oh man,
It's on Disney Plus.
It's on Disney.
it is
Plus.
on Disney Plus.
I love that we've all said that we're calling it Fan Four Stick. It's like an unwritten rule that it's Fan
It
Four
is.
Stick. No one calls it Fantastic Four.
I
Not
got a
one
question.
person.
Why is it called Fan Four Stick?
Because the Fantastic is
because the 4 is right in
the
the middle
four-
of the
Four
Fantastic.
is-
okay.
and the
okay,
A is
okay.
Fant 4 Stick.
Wow.
Gotcha,
Thank God
gotcha.
Jared's on the stream. He would be like at his grave. Like,
Yep.
Why?
I'd just be like, what? I don't get it. I'm gonna keep
Why?
saying it, but I don't get it.
Cody O'Toole, favorite book adaptation to a film. It's The Shawshank Redemption. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. Stephen King, my favorite author of all time, and this is his masterpiece. The characters, the story, the emotion, the ending, just tears, absolute tears. Chris, what about you, man? You got
Yeah,
anyone?
I'll go with a little bit of a newer one. I remember, I think it was 2012. I read the Hunger Games book, and then my mom was like, "If you read the book, we'll go see the movie when it comes out." And I was in like 6th grade, so I really enjoyed the book, and I thought the movie was great. I still really, really enjoy that first Hunger Games. Same with Catching Fire. I think it's solid, but after that, I couldn't get through Mockingjay. I think the 3rd book. And I wasn't a fan of either of the movies. I didn't like how they split them up, but I'll go with the Hunger Games.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, what
part of
about
my
you?
Childhood.
Yeah. What about you, Jared?
So I had to Google this because I mean, again, I only had a couple that went to my mind. I'm gonna say Casino Royale. I mean, it's based on a book.
Oh, that's
so
right.
I'm
That's
gonna
a
go
good
with that one.
Colin
Yeah.
disagrees, though.
Yeah, I don't hate that movie.
You
People,
didn't
I
like
think
how he was getting his balls slapped with that thing?
I
that was
know,
the best
right?
part of the movie.
Brutal.
Yes. Yes.
No, I'm gonna say I'll say one I've read and one I haven't read. Technically, The Social Network's based off a book. That's my second favorite movie of all time. So I'll go The Social Network. One I have read. That's one of my favorite books of all time, and then I just really love the movie. I know you disagree, Ryan. The Silver Linings Playbook. Well, that's one of my favorite books like ever, dude. That Matthew Quick is like such an underrated writer. And then the book I thought was great. So yeah, I'll go with that.
All right. One more question here. Nicholas Lloyd. Chris, what is your favorite Batman Arkham game?
Arkham City is amazing. I played it to 100%. It's the second one. It's a brilliant game, but I like them all. They're all fun.
All right. What about you, Colin? Have you played any?
Yeah, I'll go Arkham Asylum, the first one, and then I actually like Origins more than
Origins is fun.
City. Origins is like really, really great. But I'll go Arkham Asylum. Has a more simple story, and I'm kind of more spelt out kind of guy.
I have no answer. I've not played them. What about you, Jared?
I think mine is the second one, but I'm trying to think. Wasn't there one where there was like a ton of Joker missions and you had to drive a car everywhere? And I don't know which one that one was.
That was Knight. That was the only one.
Okay.
Arkham Knight?
Okay.
Yeah, that was the only one that you drove the Batmobile.
Yeah, because I heard that was just like a huge, like it very much like slowed gameplay, and it was just like, okay, I get it.
That one was intense though. That was like the first rated M one. It had Scarecrow in it. It was a pretty brutal game. I remember when I played it the first time.
Yeah. Is it fun? All right. All right, that's going to do it for Group 2, guys. Our guests are here waiting. So anyway, Chris, Jared, thank you guys so much for coming on, joining this fun podcast once again. Chris, we're going to kick it off with you first. You're going to tell the people where they can find you on the social media and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can find me here on YouTube at Filmstock, on Letterboxd at Filmstock. My name Chris will pop up. I'm very active there. Every single movie that I review, I put a review out for it. Every movie that I watch, sorry. I'm rewatching the Raimi Spider-Man trilogy right now, having a lot of fun with that. Instagram at Filmstock, Twitter at ChrisBoo15, and on Instagram also at the Film Saga podcast. Myself and Trevor from Film Geeks have a podcast where we do a Mocksker segment there, so you can check us out. A new episode came out today, and it was a ton of fun. Thank you for having me on, Ryan. Happy birthday, and I'm looking forward to a future live stream maybe.
Thank you, man. That means so much. And Jared Buckendall, the one and only, tell the subscribers where they can find you and what videos you got.
Well, it's looking like in the chat, Sean Chandler's blowing up my Phantom opinion right here. So I don't know. Maybe I need to go back and rewatch that.
Yeah, rip you to shreds.
You guys can find me here on YouTube at JBuck Studios. You know, I'm doing reviews, reactions, ridiculousness. That's kind of the motto of my channel. Very much, doing a bunch of reviews, but also trying to throw some comedic sense into it because, that's my personality. I haven't taken anything serious in a long, long, long time. Otherwise, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Jared Buckendall. I just started a Twitch channel as well. Jump over there, give me a follow. I have no idea what I'm doing over there, but I'm trying to have some fun. So follow me at any of those things. And thank you, Ryan and Colin, so much for having me over. Ryan, thank you so much for sharing your 16th birthday with us. It's wonderful.
Yes! Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Looking forward to more collabs in the future.
See you, boys.
You guys later. Woo. All right, they're out. Now we have the next guest in the stage right now. This guy doesn't even need an introduction. He's a mysterious man. He reviews movies. He talks movies way too much and has fun doing it. He's a father, and we're just excited to have him on, right, Colin?
Yeah, I'm dude. This guy's the man. He's Sean Chandler. Let's bring him on.
Well, let's just do it. There he is, right there. Sean Chandler talks about. What is going on, Sean? How you doing? Sean Chandler, what's up?
That's me.
Can you hear?
I'm doing. I'm not doing great. I was just listening to the podcast you guys were doing here with that Jared fellow. Not much. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I was hearing the recording through my ears. Threw me off for a second. I was watching the stream in a different tab. Sorry. I was hearing what Jared was saying about the Phantom, and that guy is totally off base. It's not a great movie. It is definitely a product of its time. It is cheesy. If you watch it, you're not going to think this is a great comic book gem that was missed by time. But suggesting it's the worst, no. After Batman 1989, studio heads got the wrong idea, and they started pulling from other of these pulpy comic books from the 30s and 40s. So Dick Tracy, The Phantom, and they hadn't figured out the genre yet. But Jared was wrong about The Phantom.
All right, Sean made his point. You're wrong, Jared. I have nothing to say. Sean, it's excited to have you here, man. We're talking DC fandom, answering fan questions, and we have someone else to invite as well. She is also here. She was on the podcast. Kristen Maldonado is here.
Hello.
What is up, Kristen?
I'm doing good. It's Monday. Happy birthday, Ryan. How are you guys doing?
Thank you. Yes, it's going to be very exciting indeed. We're excited to have you guys here talk about DC fandom. Again, guys, we're just tuning on in here. Thank you so much. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We got Sean and Kristen here talking DC fandom. If you want your question answered as soon as possible, submit a super chat and throw your questions in the chat. We'll get to those as soon as possible. All right, so now let's talk about Black Adam, the other panel that's going to be at DC fandom. I have not much thoughts on this, to be honest. Colin, I wanted to get your take on this. I know we talked about Noah Centineo being cast in it on a previous podcast episode, and yeah, I just wanted to get your take on this first, man.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of The Rock. Obviously, he's supposed to be playing the role, but he was almost too big of a star for me. Like, and it had a weird vibe too. It's like him playing a superhero because I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't take him seriously wearing a cape. Like when he's in like a Fast and Furious movie, for example, it's like that's just kind of like when he looks out in the distance and says something awesome. That's just kind of like the kind of actor he is to me. Can he like do some more serious stuff? I'm sure he's very capable of it. But I mean, it depends on the tone that they're going for the Black Adam movie. And I just don't know anything about the character. I wasn't even a big fan of Shazam, to be honest. It was fine. It was fun. But I felt like it was kind of just a middle of the road superhero movie. I know I'm sure you guys kind of feel differently. But yeah, I mean, I don't have too crazy of thoughts on it, honestly. I'm looking forward to see footage and just the actual look of it and the tone. I'm interested to see if it'll be different for Shazam because Shazam was kind of like a tonal shift from like the DC, definitely more kind of comedic and lighthearted in nature. So I don't know much about the Black Adam character, so I don't know if that fits like his kind of MO, so to speak.
Yeah. So, Sean, what's your take on this overall? Black Adam, The Rock. What's your thoughts overall on this?
This is a weird one because, I mean, they announced The Rock is Black Adam in 2014, 6 years ago as of now, and the movie doesn't come out until next year. So, like 7 years from announcing him as a role, and just think of like where the DCEU was in 2014. They had put out Man of Steel. I mean, this was the same point in time where Ben Affleck was cast as Batman 2 years before that movie came out. And he's come and gone, and we have a new Batman. And this Black Adam movie hasn't come out yet.
He standed the test of time.
He has, but he doesn't have a movie yet. Like we didn't even get a post-credit scene teasing him. So it's a weird deal. Just immediately, that is a very strange position to be in. And there was no tease at all. That was very peculiar to me. Add to that, the director on it is, I don't know how to say the guy's name, but Yemi Colette Serra. He's the guy that's done a whole he's done a whole bunch of these Liam Neeson thrillers. He did the Shark movie with Blake Lively.
The Shallows, yeah.
Yeah, Shallows. And so he's done like these thrillers, mid-budget thrillers, and none of them are like fantastic. He does have a distinct style. Like the big problem with those movies is more the script and the formulaic nature, but he does have a style to how he directs them. But he's never done anything like a $200 million franchise vehicle. So I just don't even know what to expect from that. I don't know if I'm excited about that or like, what a terrible pick. I don't know.
All right, Kristen, what's your take overall on the Black Adam stuff? Were you aware of his casting back in the day, you know, his social media posts, The Rock? What's your take on this shenanigans?
I'm really excited. I personally loved Shazam. I'm very much more drawn to like more comedic superhero types of stories. So that was one that I like absolutely love. That's probably my favorite DC film that they've done so far. And I love The Rock. I think everything that he does, even if it's not like a great movie, it's still like fun because The Rock is awesome. So I'm really excited for Black Adam. I don't know too much about the character, but I'm trying to do some research, and I'm curious to see if they're going to do Black Adam more as like an anti-hero or kind of start out with him as a villain and turn him into an anti-hero. But I'm hoping that they keep the vibes, like the comedic vibes of the Shazam movies, especially since, you know, he's going to end up being in Shazam 2. I feel like they're going to have to find a way to, mesh the whatever the genre or vibe of the film is together for that. But I think it could be really interesting to see, as Sean mentioned, a director that's like a thriller director coming in for this project. And I know the guy who directed Shazam also had done a lot of like more horror, like films.
Yeah.
And
as we saw in some of the scenes of that movie.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting to see how you can kind of like blend these different.
David F. Sandberg, that's his name. Yeah.
Oh yeah, how you could like blend these different sort of genres, and like I think that film was still really funny and really bright and felt very different from the other DC films. And I hope that they do that with Black Adam as well. I'm really excited.
I've noticed that too. They chose a lot of Warner Brothers horror directors. You got James Wan, David F. Sandberg, Wami Colette Sarah. They're adding a lot in. First of all, Matthew V. Haynes. Holy crap, man. Thank you for that super chat, man. You guys don't know who Matthew V. Haynes is. He's a great YouTuber. He talks tons of comic book stuff right here. I met him through Sean Chandler's Masters of Movie Trivia. He's a great guy. Thank you, man, for that super chat. And thank you for the happy birthday wishes, man. That was awesome.
Elliot said something a while.
Oh yeah, I brought that up. So this is what Elliot had to say about Black Adam. Black Adam will blow people's mind. He has the strength of Superman and the magic of Shazam. The Rock has played a superhero for most of his career, but more it's official, and I can't wait to see it. So
yeah, there he goes.
Yeah, I know Black Adam's pretty strong. So for the Black Adam stuff with The Rock, it's just a lot of build-up, just a lot of hype, a lot of social media posts from Dwayne Johnson talking about it. And he's saying, I'll go kick Shazam's ass, stuff like that. I was hoping to see, like Sean said, hoping to see him in that end credit scene with Mark Strong's villain, but we didn't get that. But we just haven't seen anything, any footage whatsoever, no trailer. It's being talked about, but not shown. And I love to see something be shown rather than just talked about. And that's the case for Black Adam. Then I would be more excited for it. I love The Rock. Who doesn't love The Rock? He's very charismatic. He's awesome in every movie he's in. And just all we've gotten is just some castings like Noah Centineo, who is in these romance movies to all the boys. P.S. I love you. Is that what it is? Yeah. He's fine in those, but as a superhero, I'm not sold. So with this movie to be sold is having a trailer and just having sneak peek footage. So this panel's not going to be long, so I don't know what they're going to show. Maybe more concept art, maybe more castings. Just nothing yet that gets me pumped for it.
Did you guys have any final thoughts on The Rock in general? Like playing as, because it struck me as like, yeah, he's like the biggest like movie star in the world. Like obviously The Rock's awesome, but like to me, I'm just not buying it as a superhero for some reason. Like it I don't know, especially when I see him and I see really kind of tongue-in-cheek, fun action movies, and Sean, do you have any thoughts on that? Or I know you're a big fan of The Rock. And
with all of these superhero castings, I always kind of say that I don't like it when they bring in A-listers that bring a lot of baggage with them. That you see the persona, you see The Rock, you don't see Black Adam. When we watch this, you're not going to be like, oh wow, he just disappeared. Where's Dwayne Johnson? No. For as much as I enjoy The Rock, I enjoy that persona, and he brings that same persona to everything. So, do I want to see The Rock persona character in the DCU? That's not the first thing that comes to mind. So that's also kind of why I don't really know what to make of it. The character's kind of anti-hero, so there's a lot of things about it that just make it not quite sure what to think about it. But also going back to the fact that he was cast 6 years ago. Of course, he was a big deal 6 years ago too, but I mean, this guy's just been cranking out movies this whole 6 years and just building and building and building to where he's much more a legend of the box office now. Because I mean, this was both, he'd only done like one or two of the Fast and Furious movies. He didn't have the Jumanji movies at the time, and he didn't have a million of these like skyscraper films and stuff like that. And so even when he was cast, it was a very different point in time in his career as to how much you would be like, because you think Black Adam, the character, is just this big hulking guy. How many people in Hollywood can do that? Two. The other one's John Cena. John Cena wasn't really in Hollywood at that point in time.
True.
But now he's A-lister, The Rock persona. So it's a very weird project to me that I just don't know what to expect from it.
Exactly.
I feel like this is the kind of project now that you have since you have The Rock involved, even if you haven't seen anything yet, like for me, I feel like it still makes me interested because The Rock is such a legend, like you were saying. Like I know like every movie that he's come out with is either really fun or just like kills in the box office. So I'm like, okay, I'm expecting like big things from this movie. Even though
that's a good point. That's a good point because, like I said, I'm not like against like essentially I'm not against The Rock. So I'm just saying I love The Rock. I'm waiting for him to prove it, which is weird because he's like the biggest movie star in the world. So I'm like, prove that you're a good actor and you make millions and millions of dollars like me.
Gridiron Game.
And yeah, but we'll see, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so that's what I want from The Rock. I want him to, be that transformative actor. And I know he has those chops, like in Gridiron Game. I didn't see The Rock. I saw Dwayne Johnson giving a great performance in that movie. But yeah, I totally agree with Sean on this. He's a big, gigantic movie star playing Black Adam. This has just been talked about for years. And I don't know if we're just going to see him transform into the Black Adam character or just play The Rock like he always does, throwing out quippy one-liners left, right, and center. I want to see a more grounded take on the Black Adam character, and that's tough to say because we haven't seen any footage of this movie. And so I think he can do it. I know he has the talent and the chops to do it, but will he? That's the question. So now let's briefly talk about as well for another movie that is getting a sequel, Aquaman 2. Aquaman 2, and I want to get Kristen's thoughts first on Aquaman 2. Were you a huge fan of the first Aquaman? Are you excited for the sequel? What are you hoping to see from it?
I did not watch the first Aquaman, and I don't really care about it. But I will say that I think that it's really interesting that, like we were talking about before, the director has a big background in horror and has actually mentioned that he wants to add like more horror elements to this project, and that might make it something that I'd be interested in seeing since they're trying to do like a little bit of a different take, like I think underwater stuff can be really scary. So, the fact that he wants to add these like more horror elements and make it a little bit, scarier sounds interesting. But in general, I don't care as much about Aquaman.
Yeah. I enjoyed the first Aquaman. I haven't revisited it, though. I probably will at some point. I've only seen it twice. Enjoyed the cheesiness, the dumb parts to it. It's an enjoyable, as Sean Chandler says, Taco Bell movie. I enjoyed it. I love Jason Momoa. Love him in all he's done, Game of Thrones, and as Aquaman. He's just such a likable dude. I love him as the character. But as far as the movie goes, it wasn't the best. It was just very entertaining. But for this sequel, though, James Wan is coming back, and I don't know what to expect from it. Just more epicness with Amber Heard as well. I'm not fully excited for it, but I am interested to see what they do, how fun it will be. Are they going to take it more seriously or not? We'll see. And Colin, I know you hated Aquaman, so I can tell you're not excited for this.
It's just, I get it. People liked the cheesiness and just is very self-aware. James Wan, I'm a fan of. Fury 7's maybe, depending on the day, my favorite Fast and Furious movie. I love it. But and so he's definitely a visionary, and I respect it. And I get what he was going for. He understood the character of Aquaman. I get all the defense of the movie, but I just watch it and I just think it sucks. Like that's just I just don't think it's a very like that's just not what I wanted in Aquaman. Like a lot of people got what they liked. Like, hey, it's a silly character, silly movie. I had fun with it. Myself personally, just not a big fan. But Jason Momoa is awesome as the character, and that didn't just the movie not being a fan of it doesn't distract from being excited for the upcoming film. So I mean, it depends on what type of movie is. Is he going to double down on what he did in the first one? Probably, because the movie made $1 billion. So it's like, okay, like if it's not broke, don't fix it. So it kind of depends on how big of a fan I'm going to be with this movie, depending on where he goes with it. And I'm assuming it's going to be more of the same, which bums me out a little bit, but that's what most people like. So I guess I'll just have to take one for the team.
All right, Elliot from Movie Files, the DC guy coming in here. Excited to see Aquaman being the king of Atlantis and seeing full Black Adam as the villain. I really liked Black Adam in that movie, played by Yaha Abdul Manton 2, who's going to be in Candyman. will be awesome, and Ocean Master will be out for revenge. I don't know who that is, but anyway, AJ Ford, thank you for the super chat, man. You didn't ask a question, but you gave the super chat. Thank you, man. That is awesome. Thank you for that. All right, so if you guys had any final thoughts, I figure we just get right into the questions since we are falling behind. Any final thoughts on this movie?
I'm just curious how it'll feel, because the first movie, as goofy and campy as it was, a big part of the nature of the story is kind of this Shakespearean royalty struggle about half brothers and the bastard son trying to reclaim the throne, and that's so at the core of the story and what that was there, and the journey to get the Triton and everything like that. I'm curious how they'll capture that vibe, because when you start off with him already as king ascended, where do you go from there? But I had fun with the first one, and I like James Wan. So
yeah,
a lot of people had fun with it. I get it. I really do.
And I totally also get why people don't like it. Like, I'm not like, what?
Totally
How do you not like this very goofy movie?
Colin posted a scene that was like, why do people like
God. The acting with the kid
that
acting
was
with the
bad
young guy,
acting, yeah.
where he's like, you mean she left me or whatever? Like his
She
mother
left me?
Oh my
That
God,
was-
the acting was
That was
atrocious.
bad.
but
That was bad.
it was
Kristen, any final thoughts?
No, I'm just curious to see what they do with this, new horror vibe that the director wants to bring into the picture. So,
Oh, thank you. Ocean Master is Patrick Wilson's character. All right, thank you for that. All right, anyway, let's answer a few Instagram or social media questions that were posted. I got to get to those. Avengers Infinity War and Endgame fan asked us some questions. What's your personal favorite podcast episode for me and Colin?
Ooh, that's a good one. Well, we've had if we don't say Kristen or Sean's when they were on, I think they'll be offended. So
I know.
Kristen-
I'll just be right out of here. Just click that leave button.
we'll kick ourselves out.
Yeah. Bye.
Even though I have the power. I'm just kidding. For me, I think all the episodes have been very good. I think my personal favorite might have been the episode 12 with Elliot and Ronald. I love how in-depth the discussion was, and especially we were talking about a very important issue, with the BLM. It was just a great episode all around, very entertaining. What was another one? The episode with Jay Vaders was entertaining.
Yeah, I mean,
what about you?
all the ones we have with guests are usually really fun. Austin Burks was a lot of fun too. We had some good discussions. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have a particular favorite one, but yeah, I'm doing the politician. I like everyone's as guest. I'm giving the politician answer, but kind of really how I feel.
Collins, email Ronald and he posted the email in that Instagram chat. That's where you send him the link.
I'll send him the link. Okay.
Next question. What is your proudest video that you've done on your channel? Question for all of us. Sean Chandler, what's your most proudest video you've done?
I don't, in a lot of ways, I don't really have one. It's more watching the progression. If I go back and watch one of my 2016 videos, especially a ranking, I'll go like, oh my goodness, what is this? And then I watch how long. Yeah, it's 40 minutes long, no B-roll. It's just me sitting there one take. And so watching a lot of the progression, that's the big thing to me. If I had to pick one, last year I did a video on canceled Spider-Man movies, and it just was a lot of research and editing and stuff, and I really, really dug that video.
All right, Kristen?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough question. It's like picking a child. But I think, like Sean said, like just seeing how much you've grown over time is really awesome. And I think some most recent ones that I really loved, there was a video that I did around Women's History Month where I had like a whole bunch of female film and TV creators all come together, and that was really cool. And we all talked about our favorite like female-centric films and TV shows. I did a video about the new season of You, like diving into some theories and explaining some stuff, and it was really fun because I got to do a lot of research on that one. So that one I really enjoyed. Yeah, I would say those are a couple that I really liked most recently.
Any epic videos I've done, obviously the one Sean was a part of, the Decade live stream video, that was crazy long, but that was something we accomplished. That was a lot of fun to do. My favorite movies of all time video, that was a task. What's another one? Pretty much a lot of rankings that are like obscure. I'm pretty proud of the A24 one most recently. That's another good one. What about you, Colin?
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing with Sean's, like seeing like the progression of like the quality of your content. I would say, I mean, like even recently I did the Spider-Man ranking. I was really proud of that video that I did. But I say like the one that I really enjoy was my top 10 like hottest movie takes, because that one really I got to be transparent and honest with my movie opinions, and you got to see like kind of a lot of my personality. So I like that one a lot. And sorry if I'm lagging a little bit.
Yeah, I noticed when you were talking, you were just like,
Yeah, you were like that moving your mouth. I was like, wow, this ventriloquist
I'm like, what-
thing is so.
How is he doing this? He's so good.
man.
I'm still doing it, as you can see.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah, I noticed
Yeah.
you're behind. All right, let's answer this last question here from Avengers fan. How do you see your older content in comparison to now? I'm actually not going to answer this now because I have a video coming out this week. I'm going to be reacting to my first videos, my Facebook reviews, as well as my first videos on YouTube. So I'll see how they compare to now. Colin?
I'm still lagging, so I apologize about that. Wait, what was the question again?
Drinking water and
He's
speaking
literally
at the same
talking
time.
How are you doing that, man? You're a superhero.
I'm very talented. Very talented.
Anyway, Colin, the question was, how do you see your older content in comparison to now?
My older content's garbage. Absolutely garbage. What I did nail, I think, in the beginning was the look of the channel. I like had like a color scheme and kind of like a format that I wanted to follow early on, but the actual video sucked. So I had the right idea, but like my personality wasn't very good and stuff. So.
All right, we got 2 super chats right in a row from Majestic Demon. Thank you for the super chat, man. I made it. Happy freaking birthday, Ryan. Thank you for that, man. I appreciate that. And we got another super chat here from Procrastinators. Thank you, man. Have you seen Gravity Falls? I have not. Kristen, you have?
Yeah. It's really good. It's like a fun animated show that was on Cartoon Network. Full of adventure and mystery, and about these 2 siblings that go spend the summer with their great uncle and kind of help him run this like mystery shack that he owns. Yeah, it's really good. If you want to check
Colin, Sean, have you guys seen it?
No.
I have not.
I have not. Thank you for the super chat, though, guys. All right, I think we're gonna. What did you have to say, Colin?
No, it's just me lagging again.
I don't know what's going on, man.
I might have to switch to the regular webcam. That's what I'm doing. Boom. There we go. We're going old school.
All right. I think that's going to do it here for Group 3. Kristen, Sean, thank you guys so much for coming on and doing this. This was a blast to do. And before we end you guys off, we're going to let you guys shout out the social media pages, starting with Sean Chandler Talks About. Sean, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on the YouTube. You look up Sean Chandler. You'll either find an NFL player or a guy that looks like me and is talking about movies. It's the guy that looks like me and is talking about movies. Also on Twitter at Kurt Never Died, and the Instagram at Sean Talks About.
Sean almost made me choke on my birthday.
It was a pretty little passionate little promotion of my social media there that I can understand why you'd get choked up over it.
Water. All right, Kristen, thank you so much for coming on, and tell
having me.
people where they can find you.
Yeah. Oh, I will say real quick, I was wrong about Gravity Falls. It was not Cartoon Network, Disney Channel and Disney XD. My bad. But yeah, you can find me at youtube.com/Kmaldo, Kmaldo on Twitter and Facebook, Kmaldo1 on Instagram. And I also recently launched a podcast called Pop Culture Planet, where you can check that out at Pop Culture Planet Podcast on Instagram. Thank you for having me. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Kristen. Yes, thank you guys for coming on. Seriously.
Really
you guys have
appreciate
yes, you guys have a great day now. All right. See you. All right, Colin. Actually, we only got one person here in the backstage area. We'll wait for the other guys to come in. Let's just bring them on anyway. Our next guest joining the panel. I've done collabs with him, of course, through Sean Chandler, and he's an awesome guy all around. Let me get the folder up. There we go. All right, let's bring him on in here. Duran from Durbania. Duran, how you doing, man?
Great. Happy birthday, Ryan. Thank you for having me on. This is going to be fun.
Yes, I can't wait for this, man. This is going to be a lot of fun. And our next guest just tuned on in here, Ronald E. Smith. Ronald, what's going on, man?
My brother Ryan, happy birthday. I'm glad to be here. Thank you and Comp for bringing me on this joyous day. I can't wait to join in on the fun.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have some fun. And we are waiting for Jay Vaders to come in here. Did you send the link, Colin?
Yeah, I did. So he'll be fashionably late. It's okay. We were fashionably late.
Jay, where are you, man?
We ran a little bit behind.
Put some clothes on, man. Let's go.
Put some clothes on.
Anyway, boys, welcome. As you guys know, we're talking DC fandom. We're answering questions as well. If you guys are just tuning on in here, we're answering questions, talking DC fandom. If you want your question, though, to be answered as soon as possible, there is the super chat feature, which you guys can do. Not required. It is just there for your use, and it helps out the channel. So let's talk more DC fandom and wait for Jay to come back in here. So let's talk about Shazam 2, one of the other panels that are going to be there. The first Shazam movie came out. I was excited to see it. I saw it early, and I loved it. And as we talked about with Black Adam and stuff, I was hoping to see Black Adam in that end credit scene, but still the movie was very entertaining. Love Zachary Levi and stuff. He's been in like the first 2 episodes of Chuck, Tangled, and Shazam. So what's your guys' takes on Shazam 2 overall? Duran, you excited? Not excited?
It's not like I'm not excited because I did like the first one. I'm just kind of, I guess I don't care until I see something about it that looks exciting. Like the first one surprised me how much fun I had. I truly enjoyed it. Like you said, Zachary Levi was amazing. The whole cast was actually really amazing. I loved the tone. I loved the feel. It made you feel like you were a kid wanting to be a superhero. And now you're actually seeing a kid become a superhero and how awesome he thinks that is. And so the movie it had a lot of fun with that. And that stupid talking caterpillar. What is that? I want to know what that is. I looked it up right before we went live, and I already forget. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what that is, what the caterpillar is. I can't wait for, Black Adam. So hopefully he'll have something to do in the sequel. But honestly, it's one of those things where, yeah, I'm excited to see it, but I don't really feel anything for it. Probably until I see, what they've got for us.
All right. Ronald, what about you, man?
I mean, I'm going to just sugarcoat nothing. All right. I had so much fun with that movie. All right. That movie caught me with a love hook because I had no expectations for it. And after I walked out of it, I had a good time. And now that they fully on going with a sequel for it, I'm ready for this thing because there's so much potential that they can do with this character. Because again, still not a lot of people know about Shazam. As much as we all love Shazam, still people don't know about him. And this just opened the floodgates for him. And hopefully, too, if this is the track that DC's going to go with it, maybe this will also be because of the track record that they've been with, maybe this will continue the road to lead up to a bigger universe for them, better universe than what they had in the past.
All right, and you just got here. Jay Vaders. Yeah. What is up, Jay?
Hey, is my audio good? I just wanted to test it.
Yes, you're good, man.
Okay, thank God. Oh. Hey, happy birthday, Ryan, you fucker. How's it going, man?
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
How do you feel old now?
Kind of.
I can see the gray in your facial hair. Oh, ooh.
Oh, man, that was mean. I'm just kidding. Welcome, Jay. Jay, we were just talking Shazam 2. Are you excited for this movie? What do you hope to hear from this panel, even though you're not going to watch it? How pumped are you, man?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Am I interrupting anyone if anyone was talking?
Nope.
Okay, good. I didn't want to just, steal the spotlight. Anyways, but yeah, it's probably gonna be great. So back to you, Ryan.
Okay. Wow. Okay. For me, Shazam 2. I mean, as I said, I enjoyed the first movie, and with the sequel, hopefully we can get Black Adam in it this time. That would be awesome. And more of the Shazam and the awesome, Billy as a younger kid and Shazam and stuff like that. It'll be fun to watch for sure. Don't know how much Mark Strong's character is going to be in this one. That would be awesome if he does return. But yeah, I just enjoyed the first one. I don't know what they're going to show at the panel, though. That's the question.
You haven't even rolled cameras on that yet?
No, I know they're starting to film actually in 2022, from what I heard. So we'll probably get some concept art, an idea of what we're going to get, and possibly some cast members. So we'll see.
Zachary Levi is going to be there.
Yeah, Zachary Levi is going to be there. Colin, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not like the biggest fan of Shazam. I think it's fine. I liked it okay. And obviously, you mentioned the first 2 episodes of Chuck because I made you watch that. Because if you guys haven't seen the show Chuck, I'm going to say it again.
Jay hasn't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Hit the live chat right now and let me know if you've seen the show. Hit the live chat right now and say I've seen it and that it's amazing because we all think it's amazing because anybody who's ever seen it loves it because it's awesome. Zachary
I
Levi is
watched the
amazing.
first 5 episodes. I thought it was okay.
Oh my goodness! Get Durbin out here.
You know what, Colin? You know what, Colin?
Oh, he's out here.
Oh, that's rude.
Oh man.
You know what, Colin? Just because you love it, I'm not gonna watch it.
Okay, fine, whatever. Hey, it's a very niche group of people, man. It's like a night. It's
Deep
like
into the Phillips chorus scene, Chuck.
He's seen Chuck. Okay. So it's one of those things where it's like a secret club, like of people that we all know that the show's amazing, but not a lot of people do because it's like the most underrated TV show I think of like all time. Anyway, Shazam. One thing that I haven't noted, one of my big problems with the movie, and I hope they don't do in 2, is you see Billy as a kid, and he's completely different as Shazam. His confidence just all of a sudden skyrockets, and maybe it's like, okay, I'm a superhero, so maybe I'm gonna have a different persona, but he's like doesn't translate as the same character. And I don't think that's either actor's fault because I think obviously Zachary Levi did a fantastic job. And then the kid acted performance, I don't know his name off the top of my head, did great as well in the movie. But I think the direction, they didn't nail enough. They didn't do a good enough job of saying like making it more seamless that they would be the same person because they are the same person. So I thought that was a little frustrating. I kind of want, as far as like, what do you want to see in Shazam 2? Maybe fix that aspect where maybe Billy as a kid, his confidence has grown and you could buy him as a Zachary Levi type. But more action, some fun, like of the lighthearted nature of the movie. I did enjoy, and the comedy was pretty good. There was some conflicting of some tones in the movie as well. And I would maybe like to see that sorted out a little bit more. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm looking forward to pretty much any superhero movie. I'm a fan of the genre, but yeah. So I'm looking at the comments. People are saying exactly, Colin. It's a good show. What did other people say? Yeah. People were saying stuff. So
I don't know
Chuck, that's a great.
Just to agree with you. Anyway, so boys, really, they're not going to show much for this movie all around. What kind of joke would you like to hope they say in this? I know we saw like a little bit of Superman in the end of the movie. Maybe another more Superman jokes.
I didn't even think about that.
The movie needs a Jay Vader's joke.
Jay
You know what? I'd love to see Shazam meet Wonder Woman. That'd be a fun joke, he meets Wonder Woman. Like what's a kid gonna do when he meets Wonder Woman?
And
That'd
he
be
thinks
hilarious.
and that he's gonna think she's hot. Obviously,
Yep.
Do a joke.
And then he starts sweating because he's incredibly nervous and awkwardly flirts. That'd be hilarious. Let's do that.
Yeah, I think that would be a great. I'm on board. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right.
They should do? They should put Deadpool in the movie. He's like, oh, wrong franchise.
Only Disney.
Yeah. Wrong studio.
Whoop! This is not Disney.
Anyway, so now, boys, I think we should just get right into the biggest one. That's all we need to see right there. The Batman. What's this movie? I never heard of it. So the Batman, guys, is the last panel of the night. I think this will be the biggest one of them all. Matt Reeves directed amazing Planet of the Apes movies, or awful Dawn of the War of the Planet of the Apes, doing the Batman. You got Robert Pattinson. He's going to show up in here, I'm guessing, and reveal some stuff. Jay, what stuff are you hoping to see?
I want to see Batman be a detective, because Batman is the world's greatest detective. So give me Batman detecting things. That's what I want. He's the greatest detective. So, like, make it a murder investigation or something. Like, one of my favorite Batman graphic novels is The Long Halloween. Is when he's like investigating these murders and stuff. So I want him to be a detective. That's what I want.
All right, Durbin. What are you hoping to see? You know, Robert Pattinson playing a different overall version of Batman. We know he's going to be Batman for 2 years now. It's going to be a different take on the character. We saw the Batmobile, which got us excited. The suit as well, the test footage. What are you hoping to see, man?
Oh, man. I think it sounds cool that they're going to play into his trauma more in this one, even though I think we've done that quite a bit anyway. So I'm hoping that's at least a different angle as they go into his trauma and how the trauma is impacting him day to day. But if you're talking about just the panel itself, let's have Robert Pattinson show up in the dang bat suit, because I want to see that suit's mobility, because that's what I loved about Batfleck. For the first time, he was fighting and rolling and moving. He could do more than just turn his head. He could actually move and had so much mobility in that outfit. And so now my expectation is there. So if Robert Pattinson shows up in that outfit and we can get a really good, like, personal look at it right there, and maybe actually see if he can move with ease in that suit, that'd be something I'd be very curious about. So, yeah.
Yeah, Ronald, your take overall on the Batman. What are you hoping to see? You hoping to maybe see more? You know, we've had previous Batmans; they've had their versions, but what are you hoping to see from Robert Pattinson?
Can you believe that this man has so much pressure on him for the one franchise that he was in, and yet the brother's been doing other movies and improving, and yet people will not give him a break? You know what? I'm just here just to see. Thank you.
I don't have good times. So.
I'm looking for Rob Pattinson just to go and show up. You know, I'm excited for what this movie has. It has a great cast. You know, has a great composer holding on the score. The man who's done like dozens and dozens of Disney Pixar films, Spider-Man Far From Home. And, yeah, Colin, there you go.
I got it.
What fully for me, I want to see the people when they see, because I know they'll drop a teaser or a little trailer maybe in the fandom. I want to see just the reaction from fans, and when they see their mouths drop and be like, "Oh,
yeah." I wonder what it was like when they first saw the Joker, like in the Dark Knight trailers. You'd be like, "Whoa, I think we're way wrong now."
Exactly.
That was me. I saw Heath Ledger casted as the Joker, and I went, "The dude from A Knight's Tale? Are you kidding? Like, he's a good actor. He ain't the Joker." That first trailer, all we heard was his voice, and I went, "He's the Joker."
And that's all you need. You know, that's just the one thing he just needs for himself, just to prove himself for it. And for the movie, you know, there's so much. I know a lot of people feel like this movie has maybe too many villains in the movie, and I can agree with that. You know, for just we're 2 years in with Batman, how they're gonna compact all this in for 2 hours and a half maybe like of a film. That's a question we'll see. But I'm excited for this. You know, none of us will say no to a Batman movie. So I'm fully amped up for it.
Oh yeah, Colin, a lot of hype, man. A lot of hype.
There's not a movie in 2021 that I'm more excited for, dude. Like I was when they said, "Hey, it's Robert Pattinson," or who was the other guy considered? He played the Beast in the X-Men kind of reboot.
Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah, Nicholas Hoult. It was kind of between them two. I was full on team Pattinson, if we want to call it that. And I'm so looking forward to this. We mentioned, Durbin, you mentioned like the fighting style and how mobile Ben Affleck was. I think they're definitely going to take that route here as well. The look of his character, the look of this version of Batman looks like the Arkham video games, kind of that armor to it. And we saw the Arkham video games and how awesome the fighting style was there. So that's awesome. And then what was a great part of those Arkham video games, detective work that we actually saw as well. And he was fantastic. It's fantastic idea that we're gonna go more towards his detective roots, because we saw a little bit of it. We didn't really see much of it in Ben Affleck's Batman, really, and then we saw a little bit in The Dark Knight and whatnot. But to see that aspect is going to be awesome. And then it's going to be interesting because like how many Batmans have we had? I think Batman's the character we've had the most in
The DCU
versions of. Just like different actors playing him, all the way from George Clooney to Ben Affleck to Christian Bale,
Val Kilmer.
I mean, like, this is insane. How many
Adam West.
We've had so many people play the character Batman, and so how many origin stories have we gotten? And it'd be kind of just funny to see if we see the pearls flying once again. It's like, can we just not do that? There's a theory too that the bat symbol is like the pieces of the gun that killed his parents, like that little theory.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So yeah, man, I'm not only am I looking forward to it, I think it's going to be good. If someone said, if you just like betting, you can never predict these type of things, but people said, hey, Colin, like, is this movie going to be one of the best Batman movies? I would predict yes.
What is someone saying right here, Colin?
Since The Dark Knight. That's the thing too, is like if people said like, what's your prediction on it? I would say it'd be one of the better ones, just based off of the clout of the people on screen and off screen, and just kind of the direction they're going with it, the talent on screen. Oh my God, not even just Batman, Robert Pattinson. There's like everyone in this movie is just so talented. I'm so looking forward to this.
Do you think the hype?
Talk about the cast. Colin Farrell's the Penguin. Paul Dano is the Riddler. Missing people.
Who's the guy that's plays Caesar? Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis is Alfred.
Yeah.
Zoe Kravitz, Catwoman.
Zoe Kravitz is Catwoman.
I got a question though. I got a question for you guys though. Do you think though the hype is too big? That it's so big now that if it doesn't meet people's expectations, even if it's good, it doesn't reach that peak, it'll be a failure for everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, hype is a lot of. I mean, Endgame and Infinity War had major hype. The Dark Knight had a big, major hype. So
Dark Knight Rises as well.
That one kind of fell short for some people too. Not for me, but
I mean, I like The Dark Knight Rises too.
That's a tough movie because it's coming off The Dark Knight. But
I'm trying
still
to keep
love
my
it.
expectations mediocre for this. I mean, like, I love like what all you said. The cast sounds fantastic. The idea that they're going into this with the plan of multiple villains, I don't feel as nervous about, because Spider-Man 3 was like studio interference. Let's throw in all these villains in there. And this is like, no, the plan is we're throwing all these villains in. Yeah. And so it's like, if that's the plan from the beginning, I have hope that it's not going to be too crowded. Like, they're going into this with the plan. There is a story and a reason behind this. So I'm trying to keep my expectations level, because I am tired of Batman constantly getting rebooted. At the same time, I'm excited. Like, this version does sound really cool, and there's a lot of cool.
It sounds like the Batman. Yeah, it sounds like the Batman. I've said this. Ryan knows this. He knows I'm not saying. I still think we have yet to have a definitive Batman. We had a great interpretations. I think Christian Bale is definitely my favorite because of the movies he's in.
Yeah, Christian Bale is my favorite.
Even him, though, he's got some aspects to his character, whereas that lacked, and then we got it with Ben Affleck. Oh, the fighting style, the big bulkiness, the suits kind of where you want it to be, and stuff like that. The Batmobile was a little bit practical, but not really showy. And it seems like this interpretation of the Batman's got a little bit of everything. It's going to have the detective aspect. It's going to have that look to it. Probably going to have some good fighting style. I'm assuming, just because of the very nature of how comic book movies are made now and the technology and stuff. And just the lack of with Christopher Nolan, he kind of wrote himself into a corner with how realistic those movies were. When it had to be super realistic, there's only so much you can do. So I think, and even the portrayal of Gotham City is like a little bit more cartoony in, say, like the Keaton ones, and then they're super serious and the Christopher Nolan ones. I think this one's going to be like a good mix of the both. Like Gotham that has like that edge to it, but then it's still kind of like an extension of like Chicago or New York or something. So I think it's a good opportunity to kind of be the greatness of every single Batman all into one. And I very confidently predict that that's what it's going to be.
It's funny because you talk about we don't have that definitive Batman yet, but I also think that's perspective, because the definitive Batman of my childhood is Michael Keaton.
Yep.
And he was the man to beat until my young adult years when we got Christian Bale. And I still really liked Batfleck. And my personal opinion with his Batman is we were robbed of the vision of what his Batman was supposed to become. And so it's just sort of left hanging in this awkward place. So, can't wait for Zack Snyder's Justice League to see, where maybe that intention was to go. But I feel like for me, like the definitive Batman is still Christian Bale, but I'm looking forward to Robert Pattinson because I don't know. It's just like you said, it's taking the mix of what Christopher Nolan did, that super serious, down to earth, real Gotham, but also that kind of Tim Burton cartoony feel. And maybe we'll get that mixed together in a way that's going to work really good, especially if DC is going in this multiverse direction. So I'm very curious what the future is going to be.
So if you ask me, I think the Dark Knight trilogy is the best superhero storytelling we've seen. And with Batman, I think Christian Bale, for me, is the definitive Batman. And Bruce Wayne. I mean, everyone has their own interpretations, their own opinion, who their Batman is. Obviously, I didn't grow up with Michael Keaton. I really love his Batman. Ben Affleck as well, coming out recently. He's a fantastic Batman, and Adam West didn't grow up with him. I think Christian Bale is the definitive Batman for me as far as with the Bruce Wayne character, the origin story. I thought they nailed that with Batman Begins. And in The Dark Knight, he's pitted against the Joker in like a big cat and mouse game. And with The Dark Knight Rises, it proved that a superhero can be beaten and broken, with Bane being physically superior to Batman and him rising, becoming the superhero that we want to see. That, to me, is the definitive Batman story, the Dark Knight trilogy from Christopher Nolan.
The definitive Batman story, but I'm thinking and I love Christian Bale. Like, don't get me wrong, I love him as Batman, but I'm just saying it's like not like perfect. It's like an A- to me. You know what I'm saying? And I just want Pattinson to be like that. Oh my God, this because there's certain aspects of the character of Batman and Christian Bale's version that I love so much. And there's a few parts where we look at him fight and it's just it doesn't do it for me really. Whereas like you look at Ben Affleck fight. Oh, that does it for me. But then, he some things to his character that bothered me as well. I want kind of, like I said, like the mix of all the greatness of every single Batman interpretation put into one. I'm hogging the screen here, though. Ronald, do you have any thoughts?
Oh, man, throw me to the wolves. Okay.
Oh, man.
I'm just look. I'm preaching everything what you guys are saying. Personally, Christian Bale used to be my guy for a long time, but then I finally saw the Michael Keaton Batman film, and that changed my whole perspective on Bruce Wayne and Batman. That to this day is my favorite Batman and my favorite Bruce Wayne. So, but with this, I just want Rob to give his just dues, just of him to walk in there and let me earn my spot. Don't judge me for my past, judge me for my present. And this is what his chance. This is his full-on play to say, I either have to hit a home run or I'm going to swing and miss, and everyone was going to look down me forever. So this is a big chance for him. This film has so much, like I said before, has so much hype on it. Like clearly for everybody here, it has so much hype. Everyone's excited for it, and that's going to be, in the end, everyone else is going to have their perspective when it's all said and done about how they liked it, how they didn't like it. But I'm a Bat fan. Hey, look, I'm wearing a shirt under the red hood, so you all know I'm rocking with the Bat love. So I'm with this. So let's just go to it and just bring us out of 2020 and shoot us into 2021 because I think we're all done with 2020.
I love that, Chris. I love that Dervin's just wearing the Superman shirt.
I know.
The best superhero, also Batman's best friend. So it works out just
when we're talking about
frenemies. That's how.
Jay, we got to hear your take, man.
Okay. This could be great. I like Matt Reeves. I like Robert Pattinson. I agree with you that Dark Knight is the best Batman movie. It's my favorite Batman movie and stuff. Michael Keaton is my favorite Batman, and Kevin Conroy. I think when you watch Batman, the animated series, you'll get the perfect Batman story watching that whole animated series.
Amen.
Yeah, just Batman animated series, Kevin Conroy.
Mask of the Phantasm.
Mask of the Phantasm, yes. One of the best Batman movies.
I saw that for the first time this year.
I saw the podcast, Colin. You didn't love it, did you?
I didn't love it. I liked it. I mean, I'm not like I didn't like love it, but I thought it was really good. I liked it.
Well,
I'd give it like
you're objectively wrong. You should have loved
It's
it.
good. It's fantastic.
no, I really
didn't love it.
Hey, I said
Jay explode a call in Casablanca. What? What?
Yeah. I won't even get into that right now.
Casablanca.
I don't even want to get into that right now. But I will say though, with the Mask of Phantasm, I said it was the best romance in any Batman movie. So I'll just leave that on a positive note. Jay, if you want to grab some boxing gloves and meet me out back afterwards,
Jay and Colin are gonna have a boxing match literally afterwards. For his thoughts on Casablanca and for Mask of the Phantasm. So
I like Mask of the Phantasm. Do you have to love every movie? Was that what we have to love every single movie, man? I said I liked it. I would give it a B. It was a good movie.
I'd give Colin a B.
That's an 80 or above. I will take that. That's an 8 out of 10. Okay,
I take that every day.
You know,
I'll take that every day.
With that attitude, you went to a B- now.
If a really hot
C plus, Colin.
If a really hot chick came up to me and said, "Hey, Colin, you're a B-," I'd be like, "I'll take it. I'll take it.
I take it."
It's better than what I get. I get, oh crap, you again. But I will say I'm excited for Batman, but I am a little worried. I don't want another Man of Steel. Sorry, Durbin. But
Man of Steel.
No, all right, let's go.
Man of
We're getting
Steel.
a full out. Man of Steel's the best Superman movie ever. Yes.
No. Are you ready for this? It's top 10 comic book movie of all time.
Okay, this Superman 78 is overrated.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece.
It's gonna be an all fallout, big out brawl after this. All
This is where we've been doing this podcast for almost 2 hours. This is where the emotions come out for sure.
Yeah.
Man of Steel's a 5 out of 10.
All right. So anyway, guys, let's answer questions now. Let's do the submitted ones because there's a lot. A couple on Instagram. Are you going to do another season of Rotten or Fresh? Yes. I'm just kidding. No, we're not. Unfortunately, it's been put to the bed, but it was a fun run. What do you guys want to accomplish moving forward?
A lot of stuff, huh?
I'd say for our channel and for the podcast, definitely expand on more stuff and get more guests on. Just move it on to the next level. Colin?
Yeah, mimic everything you guys that you said.
Yeah, for my channel, I'd love to. I'm building the goal up of being a Rotten Tomato certified critic. That is the ultimate goal of all this.
I will say I'm almost to 1K, so I guess that's the main goal. I'm almost to 1K.
Yeah, so
Congratulations,
you're almost at 1K. Congrats.
Thank you.
What about you, Jay? Do you have any goals for your channel? What do you want to accomplish?
I have a goal. I want to get to 100,000 subscribers by tomorrow.
That's a good one.
Let's do it.
It's a very easy goal.
Yeah. You just need a lot of people to click subscribe right now. There's a lot of people watching. So let's do
I'll
it.
pay everybody. Come on.
Come on, let's go.
This is the same guy that
Jay says something wrong. And then Jay's just like, I say something wrong and then unsubscribe. Damn it.
I think my unsubscribe ratio is more than my subscribe ratio.
And then I'm like, oh, you wake up tomorrow, I'm back to 3,000.
I'm very proud of this, you know.
Durbin, what's your goals and what do you want to accomplish moving forward?
Well, I just kind of want to continue to be a positive channel on YouTube because there's so much toxic fandom. Like if I mention The Last Jedi, it's like all of a sudden people are split in two in a very hateful way. You mention Man of Steel, and suddenly everybody's split into, and it's like, why? Why does it have to be that way? So like I want my channel to be that place where, yeah, I might hate a movie, but that doesn't mean, I'm gonna be all toxic about it. And if you disagree, then my gosh, let's make an awesome video about it together. Like that's kind of like what I want to do.
That's what I do, man.
I agree.
That's what I do.
It's just
I do
movies.
versus videos.
It's not politics or the world.
It is
It's
just movies.
fiction. It's fiction. So the disagreements should be fun. And so that's what I want to do on my channel, moving forward, is continue to foster that environment.
I 1,000,000% agree, because I'm a passionate guy. Like you guys probably know that and stuff. Talk about. But I realized this, and I was actually I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, one of some of the opinions that make me mad, and I'm like, you know what? I mean, I love movies. They love movies. It's not like opinions that make me mad. It's just like one that I harshly disagree with. It's like, dude, they like it. That's awesome. You know what I mean? Like, I remember I used to get mad when Gen Zers used to say that Revenge of the Sith was the best Star Wars movie, because it's not. But what I'm going to say is, you know what? I love Star Wars. I'm glad the younger generation likes Star Wars. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what my approach from now on.
And if somebody comments, why are you getting mad at this person left, right? And whenever we're just yelling at each other and saying we're going to box on,
it's all good fun.
It's all a joke, guys. We're just having fun with it. It's opinions. It's movies. All right. We watch them. We have an opinion on them. That's Ronald. Did you have anything you want to add?
Hey, man, look, my goal has always been the same. Keep pushing from my career. Make sure that at the end of the day that I can give a paycheck to my mom and my dad and be like, hey, stop working. You don't got to work no more. I got you. I'm taking care of you. That's the end all be all. Just keep walking my path to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. One day, I'll get it done. You'll see one day.
That's a great message, Ron. Love it. Another one from Instagram. Favorite gangster/mob movie? I just got to go with The Godfather 1 and 2. I just watched them most recently for the first time. They're excellent. I think
I got to go Goodfellas, man.
Goodfellas, that's a good one. But if you talk about like the best, you got to go with the Godfather movies 1 and 2. They're the best. Personal favorite, you got Goodfellas and it's the Scorsese films, The Departed.
I prefer Goodfellas over the Godfather movies personally.
Yeah, it's a personal take, but if you talk like best, I think the Godfather films, the first two ones, they're the best. What about you, Jay?
I think Ryan stole my cue cards, but yes, I am echoing Ryan here. Goodfellas is my favorite mob movie. It's my personal favorite, but Godfather 1 and 2, great films, masterpieces in my opinion. So yeah, those are my favorites, best.
What about you, Ronald? What are your favorite gangster mob movies?
Oh, it's hard. It is hard. But the two that are just throwing in my head right now is The Departed. I love that movie to death. I can watch that even on cable television. They cut out all the cursing and just because I don't like cursing anyway, so that works for me.
I love Mark.
Too, the Denzel Washington movie. I think it's called American Gangster. Love it. Like that. Like those two right there.
Ridley Scott.
Underrated. Very underrated.
Ridley Scott. Underrated Ridley Scott movie.
Yeah.
Durbin, what's your favorite?
We're about to put our audience to the test here.
Uh-oh.
I don't like gangster mobster movies. I just never got into that genre.
Which is why you don't love Pulp Fiction.
I don't like Pulp Fiction even a little. And Godfather Part 1 was so boring. I was bored out of my
I love that. Yeah. Oh, that's a hot take. I drink to that.
Yeah, Durbin, you got some explaining to do.
Good job. No hate.
It was boring.
No hate.
Proud of you.
Thank you, Ronald.
I'm good.
Hey, actually, can I give a hot take? Can I give a hot take?
Yeah.
What's your hot take, Carl?
I have a hot take. This isn't like saying a movie's bad. This is saying a movie's good. So we're going positive. A movie that got hated on and got bad critic reception, did terrible in the box office. And granted, I watch it and I'm like, oh my God, this isn't as good. I don't think it's as good as Goodfellas or anything or Godfather, but I really enjoy it and a lot of people don't. Gangster Squad. I love Gangster Squad. It's really stupid. It looks like it's been directed by Zack Snyder with how stylistic and like the slow-mo. And I'm not like dissing Zack Snyder because but it just like this actual direction, not really the storytelling. But that movie's great. But I don't know if you guys seen it, but
yeah, I haven't seen it.
I saw it. My friend put it on for me. It's not bad actually. I came there with zero expectations for it, and I walked like, oh man, this was actually pretty good. I'm down.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I can't believe you said The Godfather and Pulp Fiction are overrated in the same sentence. Like, all right, here we go. Ready? Casablanca and Mad Max Fury Road. They
Everyone's
suck.
mad at Durbin right now.
I already saw that one. Yep.
Durbin's gonna get himself killed.
You're not wrong.
So Durbin, what's your address? What's your address?
Yeah, I'm not telling you.
Don't mind this butcher knife I have.
I'm not gonna wake up tomorrow with a horse head in my bed. That's just not gonna happen.
Hey, someone asked us what's our favorite episode of the podcast. This one.
This one.
There we go.
This one.
There we go.
The one with me.
All right.
Last time I was on a podcast with you, I said I didn't like Pulp Fiction as well. Like you guys just
That
keep
was like
bringing
the
this
third
out of me.
episode.
He said he didn't want to be negative. He said that we're making.
That's not negative. It's an opinion. I'm not
It's
down
just
on
an
anybody that
opinion,
likes
guys.
it. That would be
Yeah.
negative.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I know, but what I mean by negative is it's like you have negative views of the movie. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's not my favorite.
So
Durbin's gonna get whacked. Anyway.
says the guy who hates Eternal Sunshine.
Spongy throwing some shade at you, Call. Says the guy who hates Eternal
First
Sunshine.
of all, Spongy.
Spongy.
Okay.
Call name out.
This
I'm
is
not the
directed
only
to
one
me
that-
too.
I'm not the only one. Yeah, I was gonna say both of Ryan and I don't like it. And did we say we hated it, Ryan? I don't
Yeah.
think we did.
Yeah. Did you watch my review for it?
Yeah.
I gave it a C. That's not a bad grade.
Yeah, I
For a
said
C+.
I do not. I would give it. I would actually go positive on the movie. I just think it's terribly overrated with how much it's praised. That's all.
And do you know the term overrated? It is not saying we hate the movie. We think it's overpraised or high on people's lists where we haven't. It's an opinion. We don't think it's as perfect of a movie as people are saying. We think it has flaws. That's what we mean by overrated.
Yeah,
that's fact.
We didn't say it was overrated, and we didn't say we hated it. Let's go to Amari Points on Instagram. Which character do you want to see in Sonic the Hedgehog 2?
No, I don't care.
I don't care. Knuckles, Shadow. I don't know.
Oh yeah, bring it over here. Bring it over here. Oh man,
right,
yeah,
all right.
I want to see Knuckles. Of course, we want to see Knuckles. All right, bring Knuckles over here. I've been a fan of him, and also too, you gotta bring Amy Rose. Bring her on, please. And the last one, and I hope they save it as at the end of the film. A hint for Shadow. All right, you got to do it. But he's not someone you just throw in there for the sequel. He's a third good versus evil, even though there's more to him. And I don't want to say none until people see it for him. Shadow. Let's do that.
Put like Shadow at the end credits of the second movie or something.
Yeah. Yes. 100%.
Yeah. Durbin.
I like it.
I was always more of a Nintendo guy, so I don't know all of the Sonic the Hedgehog characters. But why not just do a combined universe and do the Sonic Olympics and have Mario there? Let's do that. That'd be fun.
They did a collab. I played the Sonic and Mario Winter Games on Wii, dude. That game was awesome.
That'd be big. Ooh, that'd be huge, actually.
Mario Kart movie, and let Sonic have a cart in Mario. No cart. He just runs. That'd be awesome.
Also, put Lara Croft from Tomb Raider.
As long as we're combining universes, yes.
Let's combine more video game universe. All right, let's go to Twitter now. We got 3 from VK Studios. The first one is, what are your favorite 70s movies? Well, my favorite is Alien from 1979 from Ridley Scott. The Godfather 1 and 2, Jaws, Star Wars, like so many. Jay, you did a video on this, didn't you?
Yeah, I've done my favorite 70s movies back in the day. God damn it, Ryan, stop stealing my answers. Godfather, Jaws, Star Wars, 1977. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, great movie. Yeah. Stop stealing my answers, Ryan.
Durbin?
Let's go. I'm going to go with Alien. I'll go ahead and echo Jaws because, I just saw it for the first time a few years ago. That's a really good movie. And what else? Oh, of course, Superman, the movie with Christopher Reeve, is to me king supreme of the movies from the 70s. Well, Star Wars is pretty good too.
The actual best Superman movie.
I will say my favorite actually is Taxi Driver. Taxi Driver.
Great choice. What about you, Ronald?
Okay, I'm gonna throw you guys a curve that y'all never heard a day in your life, but it's okay. Here it comes. Aristocats. The Aristocats. That is something because I remember
Jay hates the Aristocats.
And there's no lie what
Jay
I'm
has
talking
left
about
the building
because I remember I got that VHS, watched that, and that used to be my favorite Disney film. I used to rewatch that over and over and over again, and finding out it was in the 70s. Yes, please put that on every day. I love that. Everybody,
another one we got to shout out. John Carpenter's Halloween. That's a good
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was shocked Jay didn't say that.
John Carpenter's Halloween.
All right.
Really
He also asked favorite Paul Thomas Anderson film.
Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights. For me, There Will Be Blood. Why? Daniel Day-Lewis and Paul Dano.
Porn.
I want my milkshake. Durbin, have you seen any Paul Thomas Anderson movies, Durbin?
I'm looking him up. No, I have not. Oh, wait.
No.
He did Minority Report?
No, that's Spielberg. Spielberg.
Oh, okay. I knew that was Spielberg. I knew it, but okay, he must have done something else on it. Yeah, I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't have any.
Ronald, have you seen any of his films?
Same thing. I'm looking up this brother's films. Have I ever seen? And I have seen actually one of these movies. He directed Alien vs. Predator.
Oh, I'll go with that.
Because I saw that. I saw that movie. And
Did he?
That's Paul W.S. Anderson.
Paul W.S. Anderson.
Close enough. I like Alien
Paul
vs.
Thomas
Predator. Let's have a
Anderson.
conversation
Paul
about
Thomas
that movie and how
I almost
underrated
have the
that
same.
is.
I was confused. He did.
Paul-
Punch Drunk
Paul-
Love.
movies.
Yeah. Let me see Punch Drunk Love. Adam Sandler.
I've only seen There Will Be Blood, and while I think it's a very well made movie and the acting was great, it was one of the most unpleasant movie experiences I've ever had because of just how miserable I was watching the movie. Because it's not a very fun movie to watch.
Because it was
No,
boring.
it's not even as boring. It's just not a fun movie to watch. He's just screaming and
I
going
think that was the
crazy.
intent of the movie.
Oh, yeah,
You're not supposed to like him.
I know that, right?
He left his child. I've abandoned my boy.
I get it. It was well made. It just was very unpleasant to watch because of it. Just like people, like I would never rewatch it probably.
I think Jay froze. All right. Yeah, I think it's a very well executed movie. It's not an entertaining movie. It's a very long movie, but I think Daniel Day-Lewis makes that movie what it is and why it's a classic in that regards. But I haven't seen a lot of his filmography, Paul Thomas Anderson. I've only seen that and Punch Drunk Love with Adam Sandler, one of his best performances. Jay froze, so we'll wait for Jay to come back in here. If you want to send him the link again, Colin, or you can just click on there. Yeah. Favorite Wes Anderson film? Colin?
I've only seen Grand Budapest Hotel and I really enjoyed it.
Grand Budapest? Durbin, have you seen any of Wes Anderson's films?
I have. I need to refresh myself though on his movies though real quick, but I have seen some. Just can't think of them at the top of my head.
Ronald?
I have actually. I personally, I'm like, I've never seen any of these brothers' movies, but I have actually. I'm probably saying the title wrong. Isle of Dogs.
Isle of Dogs.
Isle of Dogs. Yes. That I saw that on a plane to Disney because I remember it came to theaters and I missed it, and I finally watched it for the first time. It was really good. Like because I think it was a style that I've never really seen before, in animation. And the story was really, really good. So that's a movie I can rewatch like over again.
So Rushmore, that was pretty fun. And Fantastic Mr. Fox. I haven't seen that whole movie, but it was on at somebody's house, and I saw like the last half of it, and it was very good. I'll go with those.
Yeah, my favorite's Grand Budapest Hotel. Just like Colin, love that movie. Life Aquatic of Steve's Zoo.
Oh yeah,
Bottle Rocket. Have not seen that, but I gotta go with Grand Budapest. Moonrise Kingdom. That's another good one. All right. Favorite memory from the podcast thus far from Nate. probably all of this stuff going on here.
Yeah. How about
This is like
Jay
going
getting
down-
up and walking away twice? Like that's two great memories right there.
Yeah, there's been
What
a lot
about you,
of
Colin?
there's been a lot of iconic moments for sure. Hot takes. Yeah, I think there's. I honestly though, Durbin saying he didn't like Pulp Fiction when the first time, not this time, was pretty shocking. And then when I said I didn't thought Breakfast Club was overrated, you and Jay lost your shit. So that was pretty fun.
Ronald?
I've been watching y'all podcast since y'all put it up. You know what I mean? So like, it's been a fun ride watching you guys grow, especially the growth from your guys on just the going back and forth with each other, the chemistry you guys have. I've really enjoyed it very much. On a personal, I appreciate you guys bringing me on for the Black Lives Matter. That one really, really meant a lot, and it really just helped that. We all love movies, but in life, some things are bigger than movies, and just to give that little time just to speak on things that have been dealing with the world and the hurt that people have been feeling, I give respect for what you guys did, because not a lot of people do that. Not a lot of people would want to do it. So that gives me a lot of respect to both of you.
Yeah, man, that was a great episode.
Yeah, no problem,
Great
man. That was my favorite episode we've done, if you would have asked me. What are other great moments? Probably just any time I freak out or when Colin says some unpopular opinion. Just those are great moments.
I've slowly become the hot. I've slowly become the hot take guy, and I don't know how. It's just, I guess when you say enough of them, you just become that guy. But I've always, the thing is too, I typically don't like. More my hot takes are, I don't like movies that other people think are good. It's not a whole lot of like I have bad taste in movies in the sense that like I like bad movies. You know what I'm saying? It's never really like, I like the Transformers movies or something stupid like that. You know what I mean? Like it's always like I don't like movies as much as other people do. So I guess I'm like a boomer in that situation. But it's been interesting that I've developed this reputation of hot takes, and it was completely unintentional. I'm not trying to be controversial. I'm just saying how I feel about a movie. And it's funny the reception that I've gotten in the support too, because I posted my hot take video. I said my top 10 hot takes. So like the majority of the comments were saying that I actually agree with a lot of these things. I actually agree. It's like maybe the more people that say it, the more maybe you're not as alone as you think you are.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I found that to be true myself.
It's called the silent majority. That's what I am. Silent majority.
Yeah. What's the best thing about Man of Steel? Somebody asked on YouTube.
Ooh.
Why add such a hard question? Because it's hard to find something good about it. I'm kidding.
I love what they how they handle.
I wanted that and I got it. Yes, there.
I love how they dealt with Superman just being in the real world compared to the 78 version. It really took a grounded version more, and I just love Henry Cavill's performance in there. The action, it's like God mode action that I really enjoyed. Zod was also on a great personal level. The score from Hans Zimmer is amazing. And it's just an epic that this movie gets a lot of love. It's gotten more love throughout the years, and I want that Man of Steel too.
Oh, I do too.
I think
Durbin.
Before Durbin says that, I will say someone said my favorite podcast moment is when you guys in Austin talked about Stephen A. Smith. That was funny. I forgot about that part.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was a
good one. Go ahead, Durbin. Sorry.
No, it's cool. I think what's best about Man of Steel is it shows not just a Superman in the real world, but a Superman in our world, because he grew up in a divided country, and he grew up knowing that people fear what's different, and he's about as different as you can get. He's an alien from another world. If he shakes your hand the wrong way, he could disintegrate your hand into nothing. What does a man like that, how does he exist in this world? How does that weigh on his shoulders? And I liked that we got to see that weigh on his shoulders in this movie, and yet he was anxious to swim across the water and save everybody from that burning oil rig. He was always willing to blow his cover to save a life. And we see him smile when he's learning to fly. So everybody says he doesn't smile. He smiles in that movie when he's flying for the first time, and he meets his parents and he figures out where he's from, and he's smiling when he's talking to his mom about that. And then finally, when Zod shows up, it's that ultimate sacrifice for him, because he sacrificed his normal, regular life and became Superman. And very symbolic of Jesus, because Jesus laid down his life at 33, and they made a huge point that Superman is 33 years old in this, all the way from him praying in that church, talking to that priest right before he goes out, to that moment where he becomes Superman, in a sense, laying down his normal life to save the world. And so, to me, it's powerful on so many levels.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Someone said, I just noticed, did Colin shave? Yes, I did shave. I did shave.
You did. I can see it a little bit, yeah. Colin, what do you love about Man of Steel? What do they do right?
Everything that he said, really. So. Because I know we gotta go to our culture project soon, so I'm just being quick.
All right, I think all these questions have been answered. Sorry, guys, if we didn't get to your questions. Apologize for that. It's just getting too long, the 2 hour and 18 mark. Anyway,
what did you have to say?
What did you say?
I'll keep mine short and sweet. The score and the fights, we all care about Man of Steel. Everything else can kick rocks with no socks.
The score is probably one of the best comic book movies or scores of all time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and BVS, I think, upped that score. Just, the movie.
Oh no, I don't necessarily agree with that. But yeah, I mean, to me, like I think still Man of Steel is better. But that's cool that you like both.
All right. Thank you, Duran and Ronald and Jay. Don't know where Jay went, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. His internet went out?
His powers went out. That's what I'm hearing through the grapevine of the very reliable YouTube commenters.
Oh, wow. Anyway, thank you, Duran and Ronald, for coming on in here and joining this birthday live stream. Of course, we'll let you guys shout out your social media pages, starting with Duran. Duran, where can people find you, what you have coming out on the channel, etc.?
Well, you can find me right here on YouTube. My channel is called Durbania, as it says right there on the screen, and I'm the one and only that will pop up when you type in that name. And I review movies, I rank movies, and I do this other thing called a theological analysis. That's where I like to find God in movies and get deeper into like symbolism and stuff. So it's a lot of fun, and I'd love to have you come over and check it out. I have a Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse theological analysis dropping next weekend, as well as all the DC fandom stuff that I cannot wait to react to as it happens and talk about. So it'll be good.
Yes, thank you, Duran. Oh, that's his girlfriend that's commenting. Okay, thank you for that, Lindsay. And Ronald, thank you so much, man, for coming on in here. Let people know where they can find you. What if you have some interviews coming up, you can plug us on and all that stuff.
Thank you, man. Much appreciated. Y'all can find me in my only name, Ronald E. Smith. I'm the only one with the fancy suit, so y'all can't miss me. All right, and follow me on my Instagram, Ron_Smith10, and I got an interview coming up on Friday, and it should be posted on next Monday of a film critic, I think Miss Rosa, and you'll see it with that, and also too you will see some KBO baseball, but that comes a little later. Don't want to spoil nothing. But before I let it go, Ryan, again, you are a true one. I respect you so much, man. You wouldn't even know how much I do. All right, so I'm happy for you, man. Have a blessed birthday, brother. You deserve it. One love.
Thank you, Ronald. Appreciate it, brother.
Happy birthday,
yes,
Ryan.
Duran, Ronald, we'll send you guys out the way. Thank you guys so much for coming on. All right.
Thank you, guys.
See you, Duran.
See you later. Happy birthday.
Thank you. All right, Colin, that was just me and you. Hopefully if Jay comes back, he can plug his stuff. But anyway, guys, we're just going to get right into the Culture Project right here, me and Colin. If you guys don't know what the Culture Project is, there we go. If you guys don't know what the Culture Project is, it's a segment Colin and I came up with where we pick movies for each other to watch for the very first time that we haven't seen before. If we're not familiar with a certain genre or are strong in, we pick movies there. Basically, it grows us as movie reviewers to watch tons of movies, give an opinion on it, because that's what we do on YouTube is we review lots of movies. But I think the best part is reviewing movies we haven't seen before or movies we aren't strong in. So Colin picked for me this week to watch The Florida Project from A24, and I picked for Colin to watch Get Out, the highly popular Jordan Peele horror film. So Colin, we'll kick it off with you. What were your thoughts on Get Out, man?
Yeah, man, I'm just going to cut to the chase. This movie's fucking amazing, bro. It's amazing, dude. Like Oh my God, this is the best movie by far you've suggested so far. And that's not even a diss to the movies you suggested, like, because I love The Shining as well. Get Out is unbelievable. I think it's a horror masterpiece. And like I said, what did I say? The Shining is my new favorite horror movie. Guess what my new favorite is now? Get Out. Dude, I was blown away with this movie. Saw it with my friend who had never seen it before too. We were laughing our asses off. We were blown because it was funny, but like we were blown away by certain instances too, dude. Like the twists and the turns. I will say there's a particular twist about you find out something about his girlfriend and you see like I'll just say some pictures that you see. I called that the whole idea that she was kind of, what she was doing. I was like, oh, what if she did that? I was a little bit wrong with like the inner details of it, but I called like that general idea. I was really proud of myself for doing that. But dude, I was blown away by this movie. Thank you so much for recommending it to me. Obviously I was going to watch it eventually, but for getting me to watch it, because this movie is so clever. It's so unique, such a unique script. The twist at the end where you see things and just the scary nature of it too. And I'm like getting like, I don't even know how to articulate my words here because I was so blown away with this movie. It's a masterpiece and it's one of my favorites of the last decade now. I loved it so much.
I'm glad you loved it, man. It's definitely in my top 10, maybe close to top 5 for horror movies. I think The Shining's my favorite, but it's an excellent movie, man. Everything you said, Jordan Peele's creative mind, this movie, the trailers for it looked really dumb, but it was amazing. Got Oscar love. It won Best Original Screenplay. Jordan Peele, any horror movie he does from now on, I'm going to be anticipating it. Even though I didn't love Us as much on rewatch, you're going to watch Us now, right?
Yeah, I'll watch it. I'm sure. So me and my buddy want to watch it, the one I watched it with. And dude, I'm blown away, man. The movie is fantastic.
He's producing Candyman for a reason because Jordan Peele is a master at the horror genre. I can't wait to see what next horror film he does.
My grade is 5 out of 5 stars, A+, 10 out of 10. I loved it.
Oh yeah, it's a great movie. Now let's talk about The Florida Project. Came out in 2017, directed by Sean Baker, who did Tangerine, a film entirely on an iPhone. Got Willem Dafoe, Brooklyn Prince in the cast. And I'm just going to say it, this movie's fantastic, dude.
Yes.
so fucking good, man. How did I sleep on this movie? I watched it for like the first 30 minutes and then did something else. This movie, I think, is the most real A24 movie I've seen since Moonlight. It depicts the Florida life really well. People are struggling to pay the bills at this hotel. That's like 5 to 10 minutes away from Disney World. Love the ending, where they go to Disney World. Brooklyn Prince, how was she not nominated for this movie? She was so great.
Best child actor performance of all time.
I gotta go with Danny Lloyd in The Shining as my favorite. Then probably Brooklyn Prince, dude. She was fantastic. Willem Dafoe, he did get nominated for this movie, but not for this movie. He was fantastic in here. Bobby's the most likable character. This movie has some of the most despicable piece of shit characters I've seen in a movie. And it's the mother, dude. I freaking hated her, bro. But that's the character. She was so good in that.
Unbelievable as an actor.
Unbelievable. This movie's the most gorgeous A24 movie I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah,
the cinematography is great. Sean Baker is a director. I want to see him do more movies. Just if it's A24, I'll check it out. This movie's amazing, dude.
Good, dude. We struck gold, bro. We struck gold.
I'm still thinking about it.
So, okay, what's your score?
A+.
Oh wow.
It's one of the best A24 movies. If you saw my A24 top 10, you'll probably watch it where it lands. I have to see it more times compared to other A24 movies, but it's fantastic.
Right on, man. Right on.
All right. So before we close out the show, Colin, we got to do the movie quote of the
we got to
week.
recommend. We got to pick the movies for next week too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So my movie for you this week, it's a horror movie. We were talking about
Another one.
Came out in the 70s. Alien.
Oh, okay, perfect. Perfect.
Alien, bro. You're gonna watch Alien. Ridley Scott, Sigourney Weaver. You're watching that.
I'm watching that. And you are gonna watch. I have a list of them, and I had it up, and I kind of forgot what I had you pick. So 1 second here. What was it? I told you about that. Oh yeah, Dope, coming of age movie. We mentioned it.
Dope.
Good one. I mean, it's like when a lot of the movies we recommend, we're like, oh, it's a masterpiece. I want to go like I would say there's flaws in this movie. Is what I'm trying to say. I would say that it's not a perfect movie. It's just a fun, lighthearted movie that I think it's got cultural relevance to it, and it's a very unique script and a really unique story, and it has a lot of style for a coming of age movie. Doesn't really follow that typical formula. It's got a good cast. Shamik Moore, who plays Miles Morales, is the main character, and I think you'll really enjoy it. I like I said, it's not like masterpiece level or something like The Florida Project or Election for me, but it's a really good movie.
Yeah, really good movie. So now I think we should do the movie quote of the week. All right, Colin, what's yours?
What was my movie quote? Let me pick it here. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, it's Han Solo's part in Return of the Jedi when he turns back and says, "Hey, it's me." I love that quote so much. I love that one. That one's great.
All right, Jay got his power back, you just said. All right, hopefully I can get him on. My quote comes from a movie I watched recently again, Interstellar, Christopher Nolan, and it's from Cooper, Matthew McConaughey's character. We used to look up in the sky at the... Sorry, I got to do an impression of him. We used to look up at the sky and wonder at our place in the stars. Now we just look down and worry about our place in the dirt.
Well, yeah.
It's a great quote. Fantastic.
I'm not crazy about that movie. I like it a lot, but it's got problems. But good quote.
But guys, that is gonna do it for the big gigantic birthday party episode.
2.5 hours, bro.
2.5 hours. This is the biggest one, but it was worth it, dude. I loved every minute of this. Colin, I'll throw it on to you, man. Before we close out the show, tell the subscribers what's coming out on the channel. I know you did your Civil War review and stuff like that. What we can tease for the next episode and stuff like that.
Yeah, Captain America Civil War review is up. Going to be ranking the Star Wars movies soon. Why not? We're not going to get a movie for a couple of years. We'll have the opportunity to do that. Who knows where my channels be at by that time. So why not rank the Star Wars movies? Going to do that. Really excited about that. Do some of the top 10 lists. I've always been sprinkling them out throughout the week. Follow me on Instagram, Colin Williams Reviews, Twitter, Colin Williams MR. New movies I watch, old movies I watch, doesn't matter. Follow me on Letterboxd. I review everything and anything on there. Super active on there, so follow me on Letterboxd to see Williams991. I want to thank the 9 guests we had on for this 2.5 hour long episode, this epic episode. I want to wish Ryan a happy birthday, and I want to thank the viewers on here. How many people did we have on at once? Do you know? Did you see like the highest number that we had? Because I can't see it from my end, but it was pretty awesome.
I think it was around 30 or 31.
Yeah, great stuff, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Seriously,
really appreciate it.
Dorito Chip, Oliveira, everyone that was here earlier. Thank you guys so much for all the comments. Sorry we couldn't get. Oh wait, is Jay here? Jay Vaders, you're back.
Hey, I'm on my phone right now. Hey guys.
No worries, man. We found out you lost power. You really quickly want to shout out. Hang on. Do you want to shout out your social media pages real quick before we close out the show?
Hey guys, so sorry about all that shit. We're doing I'm in the middle of a big thunderstorm right now, so yeah. Check me out on Instagram, on Jay Vaders, on Instagram, on Facebook as well, and check out my YouTube channel, Jay Vaders. Also check out my new podcast. I just released the first.
That's right.
Yeah. Episode 2 is coming out in a couple days, so look forward to that.
What's the podcast called again? I forgot.
J-Dog and Rye Bread.
Oh, Rye Bread. I like it.
Apparently, I just attract Ryans a lot. Like, I have 3 friends named Ryan. You're my favorite Ryan. Don't worry. Yes.
Now get the fuck out of here. I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding.
Have you guys been live the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah, for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So get out so we can close out the show. No,
I'm just kidding. Never. I love you. Love you, Jay. Bye, man.
Love you, man.
Bye.
All right. Thank you guys so much once again. First live episode of the podcast. For next week's episode, we'll probably do a guest. We shall see. Depends what movie news come out.
Yeah, I'm going next week. We'll have to talk scheduling. Going next weekend. I'm going to or this coming weekend. I'm seeing my grandparents and stuff. So Saturday, if we can record, or the earlier the better, that'd be great. But we'll talk about that later. So yes, super excited for next week's episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next episode. Peace, guys.